Okay, it's good to have you guys back. And it's been a good day. We all enjoyed ourselves, and I think it was a good session handled by Dr. Rudolph. And this is just going to be a follow-up. Those of you who had questions who couldn't ask, and those of you who also had their own contribution who couldn't make it. So this is an opportunity for you to be able to do all that. It's going to be a short section today because one of my but team will be in here, and my brother Tony is here already. So we're going to be inviting them in, and we'll kick off immediately so that we all can contribute and have our say. Remember, this is 90 Minutes Africa, for a place where we discuss all shades of politics, irrespective of what it is, all shades of idea, irrespective of what you think. This is the place for the action. So let's get on with it. This evening, I have a video for you, and I think it's a nice video. And I think you should, for those of you who are thinking that 2027 is going to be different, you see, those who think 2027 is going to be different, you don't know something. We don't have any law in Nigeria. There's no law in Nigeria. It is not dog eat dog. Whatever you can do and get away with it, you can do it and get away. Nobody is going to stop you. Nobody. And that's why people can do things that are totally against the law of the land, and nothing will be done to them. We are getting to the place where if you are the strong will only survive, and the weak will die away. But we hope that somebody with a more better understanding of how things should go will come up. Let's watch this quickly. Okay, that is General MC Olomo dishing out the, what is needed to win election come 2027. And this is not even, they're not even contesting against anybody. This is just APC primaries, APC convention, that this, the colors, the Malacca is already rolling. So what do you think is going to be the outcome of events when the real deal is here? It's not going to be, this match not going to be like Manchester United versus, Arsenal. It's going to be Manchester United versus Dundee United. And people know Dundee United. If you are following those English, you will know Dundee United. And how many times they've been able to win the FC. So, in other words, Tony, you're welcome, and Ovia, you're welcome. It's good to see both of you. And both of you have very mature way of approaching things. But so let me start from you, Tony. What did you see, and what did you
Tony
think?
belonged to the City Boys movement. I'm a village man.
Tony doesn't belong to that kind of movement.
No, greetings, KJ, and greetings, my brother Ovie. Today I saw the born again. And like I said, anytime we smoke Igbo, you go see anointing they come out from your head. So today the anointing they come out
from fake news.
So I doff my heart for him. Like give Dr. Haruna Igbo make his smoke. You don't to make you borrow your hair. No give an Igbo. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good session. It was quite good. And I think people should be allowed to just speak their mind, when they come to the platform. Sometimes we don't like it. Um, and it's quite clear that a lot of us are sentimental when it comes to issues that touch us. You see us react, and it's absolutely normal. Because if you come to the platform with pretenses, that's not, we're here to learn, we're here to feel, when you're angry, you say it, and that dissolves everything goes, So, because the reason why we come here, is for Nigeria's, we meet, we chat, we feel good, we interact. It's an opportunity that we take for granted because some of us will not be, have this kind of platform, an outreach, but for Dr. Damages and you guys, who make it possible. So we're grateful. But that said, there are things that Dr. Guru said that I don't agree with. For instance, I don't agree that Ashiwaju can bribe a personality like Bishop Kuker. Some of us, when we were much younger, were very, very radical. Really, really radical. But there's something that age does to you, and that position does to you. As you begin to mature and grow, you have, because they say there's wisdom in age, certain things that you have seen in a particular light, because of experience that you have gathered, the people you have interacted with, the environment that you have been to, this cross, pollination of ideas and so on and so forth, you get to a place where you begin to see certain things that you did in the past or that you said that you are not proud of. You would not, with the kind of enlightenment and worldview that you have, take that step. So it becomes an apology to you that you say, but it's part of life, it's transition, that you're supposed to be getting better, not getting worse. And that's why when I see people, elderly people, who I think that what comes out of them will be wisdom, because that is what we're supposed to pass to the younger ones. But when you see this, elderly people like us, and we are spewing things that are introducing toxin into the environment, then it becomes a problem. Now, I'm not talking about when you are speaking the fact and someone else sees it differently. There will always be that kind of situation. But there are situations where you see people who are elders who are supposed to know better. And obviously that they are lying. And they say it with impunity. That's the kind of thing I'm saying. And you say, no, what is he going to say to his children? I mean, I once said here in the platform, Lai Muhammad was quoted as saying that his grandchild was asking him, why, daddy, grandpa, why do they call you Lai Muhammad? That's what the kid sees. So that's where I feel very bad. So I think Haruna Goroh has spoken. I think that looking at Kuker now, plus all the engagement that he has, there are positions like a moderator. When you are a moderator, you have your own views, but because you are a moderator, you want to take a middle point. Because otherwise you'll be biased. So you want to keep back your bias and then just listen to everybody and give everybody the opportunity. And based on the views that people are going to proffer, then you can summarize. Okay? So that's the way I look at Kuker now, and some of the things that he's saying. This is a man who is asking for peace. This is a man who relates with government. He's involved in a couple of things. Peace meetings. He's been given. He's the chancellor of. What's it? Not chancellor. One of the universities. He has the government. This thing that I can't remember exactly what it is. So when he speaks, you are supposed to be one that people listen to. You're supposed to put your biases aside and then look at things, stricter sense of the way it should be. So that's the way I see him. I'm not a Catholic. I used to be a Catholic, but that's the way I see Kuker. I think he's misunderstood. I have heard him apologize to people who didn't understand what he's saying. But that said, that's my opinion. That's neither here nor there. And there are a couple other things that he said that I don't agree with. I don't necessarily agree with, but he's entitled to his view. But even then, it's for us to interrogate, and that's the beauty of a platform like this. So let me leave it there for others to come.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes, let me say this before I hand over to Chim. Listen, I have done a documentary for Bishop Kuker, okay, on this ongoing now. So for him to even make that pronunciation that there's nothing like Christian genocide with this documentary, which I still have a copy because he didn't allow it to be published in the order it was. So the original copy, the original edit, I still have. Now, he knows very well. His church was bombed in Sokoto. I went there to do an interview of his members. And when they pushed the army to his church, to guide his church every Sunday, the army had a small roadblock by his church. This was even before this thing became as prevalent as it is now. So when he wakes up to say that, and then listen, this is one of the things I've known. Majority of those who say things that are contrary are loved by, I don't want to say anything, just loved by, those who are not Christians. Okay? Because in the first place, you can't say that of northerners like Prophet Guba, who is a Kanuri man from Borno State, who have witnessed this thing, who has been going to do conduct burial for members of his church. So, but you see, like when they say that they don't have bias and they put up those kind of things, you just keep quiet so that the program can go on very well. And I agree with I agree with you to a large extent. All of us who have our views about things. What makes it good is that you don't, because you don't agree with my view, you want to kill me, or I don't agree with John Abba. John Abba becomes the worst person around. No, you keep your views. Let us find a level. Let us agree to disagree. That's the right word. If we are doing that and we tackle what is really the problem of Nigeria, which all of us know by our fingertips, nobody who doesn't know it. Nigeria will have gone far. But for what, every time we'll come and sit down and say, this is difficult. So what is difficult, to tell the truth? Anyway, sorry, gentlemen, I need to quickly fix something that's just happening around my house now.
Before you go, KJ, sorry, hold on a second. Give me a second. I'll be back.
This man. All right. Yes. Ovie, please go ahead.
So, yeah, the whole thing, I really don't see. I mean, I don't know why the guy come across as controversial to people. Well, let me say I know why, but it just it's sad that we know they feel read the room, in the sense that when I want to ask the man question, I quoted Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1, which says that there's time and season for everything. This politician, now they cause them they are fools, they are idiot. I'm not saying the man as a politician, because we are reacting based on the times that we are in. Because whether we like it or not, right? Now election season, we don't enter. Tension day everywhere. And that's exactly what those who are skin in the game, who are looking for position wants. Your anger is their agenda. Because that's why they always complain, say we too they complain. Because once you are constantly in that state of mind of anger, it will be very difficult for you to actually articulate yourself in terms of seeing solution, or even organize against them, or organize against your opponent, because you're always angry. So they will always do something that will always make you angry. So because we're already in constant state of mind, we look out for anyone that face us in terms of one speak to it in terms of what is happening. Would they find waiting in good talk that doesn't align with what we want? I will come at it. This man is 70 years old, for God's sake. He's senior Nigeria. So I think he has the right to actually articulate and frame any issue the way he wants, because he has done it over and over and over again. So it's just sad that we are falling into the whole the way they want the whole situation to go. With the fight along religious line, Obi is within the other side of the country trying to make sure he have his way. Konkozo, as we speak, himself, they look on this other side. That should say a lot of things about this thing that is happening. It's all about power for them, but we take it. We are now within a country. We are more holier than the Pope, Abi. So it's as if we are more Christian than Obi, for instance, with the Christian. It's another way. He doesn't know what he's doing. No, we have more leadership capacity and quality than him. The same way with the other people too. We know more than the Muslim brothers. So when I listen to the whole thing, it's funny to me. I just couldn't. I look at the whole emotion that is coming from everybody interest. You come to question the man for having a particular view, right? And that is because you have a particular view and it doesn't align with your own. But they can't challenge why the person should see things this way. How do you want him to see? If he doesn't see it that way, that means you want him to see it your way, and you will be happy. So at times, no matter how we try to hide what we value most in terms of religion or tribe, we just can't help it. That's what I see from most of the reaction that the man is getting. And it is ridiculous because this now, what the man talk is not that he's reading a book or he's quoting somebody else. Even though na in life we see they talk, all of us can relate because it's happening in life. It's not even longer a conspiracy theory. Even if in saying Iran 9 they sponsor militants in Nigeria, even if you don't agree with him, the United States Congress come out and say that then they sponsor. And what's the difference? The most important is a sponsor outside coming in. So now, how would they frame and be a problem? So, but again, now the season. So whether we like it or not, we can deny it all we want. Religion is at the center stage. Some people use and win election. So that's the reality. No matter how you want deny and read, some people win a presidential election via Muslim ticket. So for people to be not surprised that getting this kind of reaction, it behooves me. Being with we deceive ourselves. It's going to come. And normal be that. Some people must lose power. So all I see here is that we can deceive ourselves all we want. Religion a problem. And then a Christian or that a Muslim is interfering with our lifestyle. And that is because the lifestyle we all of us have today, no go well with that. There's no way it can work. Technology don't bridge everything. But it's all up to us. Now,
Okay.
that's my general observation, both
All right.
from
Thank you, Vie. Thank you. While we KJ has taken step out a bit, he'll be back later on. So I'll hold forth for him until he gets back. So I think Tony, you've already spoken, right?
Yes, it was the first
Yes,
person.
I have. Yes, I have. Thank you.
Okay. So I think the line of questioning, so it's going to John Abba. I think so. John, yes, you didn't come in when Dr. Goroh was here, but I guess you listened and you heard all that was said. What's your take?
Good evening, Chim, Tony, VCM, and good. And yes, I listened to him. I don't want to come in. The last time he was here, I already um, know his view about things. But more importantly, why I do not even come today is the fact that he mentioned that he called Obasanjo and they talk, and I believe Obasanjo is the arc of evil, not just to Nigeria, but the whole black race, if you know him very well. And so to me, I mean, we all, politics is not because you disagree with somebody, you will not cut cake with them. But principle is above politics. So I don't believe in someone that have that close relationship with Obasanjo that put us where we are today to be speaking about the future of Nigeria. Where we are so far, Obasanjo contributed to it, even from the military era to his peak as a president from prison. He did nothing than wherever. And the amazing thing is now, all these politicians uh, galvanize themselves around him. Uh, what is he going to do for them? He's 90 some, he's almost 90 years old. Even by nature, uh, death doesn't come by age. But then he's going to exit. And not that the legacy I've lived so far that is put anything in place progressively that we as Nigerians can say we are proud of him. Rather, we are just playing politics with him. So for me, I don't want to come and have issue. And of course, me, he also stated the last time that he came that of course everybody have their view and people it's human nature. People will be biased and what you believe influences you. So I don't have a problem with him be on the line of whether being a Christian or not, or his side he take. That is, like Ovie said, if you say you should not take that side, then you want him to take your side. So he's entitled to his own opinion. But to me, um, I don't have anything against him. His view is not my own view, and I don't think his politics line with my own. And by the way, because I'm going to exit soon, maybe I join later. I don't. All this parade is just to stay on the sideline of the next vote. As far as 2027 is concerned, these people, ADC or whatever, they are no different from APC. It's change party, you do not change personality. They are the same vulture that have eat up our country. They are the cancer in the spine of our country, whether they change party or not. So I think we need more than these people. And I hope that Nigeria will rise up and take their country back one day. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. John Abba, before you leave, what exactly can you pinpoint something you think Mr. Goroh said that you think you don't agree with clearly, from a national perspective? What exactly?
I already said the fact that he's dining with Obasanjo, at least he tell about his own view, and Obasanjo is the reason why we are here. And in national politics of whatever he's saying, where I agree with him, I believe that the terrorist is in Asorok. That I believe that with him, and not just this one, any other one, because they are the ones that sell their country and their citizens, use them for the power that is behind them that is manipulating Nigerians and come year after year. So to me, I don't think he even talking about this politics of that side. I think anyone that wants Nigerian to work should be having a different dialogue of how do we move from this place, not this politics of now, whether it's ADC or it's LP or it's APC, it doesn't matter. So to me, anyone that belong and think that line of politics of the same people over and over, that somehow they have a solution for Nigeria, I think then we are delusional.
So the other question I want you to answer for us before you leave is: you said Obasanjo is the reason why we're here. How?
Uh, the history of Obasanjo was, his errand as a military president, as a commander in chief when he was in the military.
So say that again.
You know, when he was as a soldier, when he was the president, you know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you come 1999, become the president again, the civilian president under
Mm-hmm.
PDP, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So if you go and dig on your own and find out how it has been used by the West, even not only Nigeria is already in his pocket. All most African country, he responsible for removing them used by the West, and he know himself. And so when people come around him, I don't want to go in detail to it. When people come around him, I say, what for? Is it because you don't know him, or you know him and you are playing politics, or you don't have a principle? Like I said, you can have a party you belong to, but a principle is more than party. Sometimes people don't vote not because they don't love their country, or not because vote doesn't count. In some ways, it doesn't count, but it's not about that. It's about principle. That whether it's the opposition party or your own party, if you register under any party, but it's about the person that you know for sure responsible. They call him a dictator. Even this Tinubu that is because of him, Tinubu will even do everything to become a president again in 2027. Even if it's because of Ole Obasanjo. He know that even when he was a president when Obasanjo, no, Tinubu was the governor of Lagos. Of course, he created a local government called Alimosho. And because of that, they even went to court because he stopped giving whatever they give to state and
Allocation.
and Tinubu won the case against him. So these two people, they are not even because he can't. It's only him that even have challenged him that he get away with it. Most of the people
Okay.
that challenges him, he pulled them down by every means. So
Okay. All right. Thank you
thank
very
you.
much, John. CM, you haven't spoken before we come to the good. CM, can you hear me? Can you hear me, CM?
Yeah, yes, Chim. Good evening.
Good evening. So you watched the show, but you didn't comment. So what's your take on the guest, Dr. Haruna? And then if you want to circle around some of the things that Janaba said, you are free to do that.
Anyway, the thing is, what Dr. Haruna said, in a way, he was quite sincere, but Nigeria, our internal contradiction. I always say it. We know what our problems are, but it's just that idea of, you know, why should we do it? Why should we take the hard decision? But in all submissions, the one I concur with, who spoke exactly my mind, was James, the man from that stays in Gambia.
Gambia.
He said it. That yes, Gambia. Yeah. You see, at a point in time, at a certain stage in one's life, you have to tell yourself the truth, because where you are going is very far from where you are coming from. You have to be honest. All this idea of what the same brand of policy, you do this, where are we? You see, I thank God that I lived among the English people. I live in England. They don't argue, despite that they have the mother of all the oldest parliament is the House of Commons. They don't argue. If you want to argue with them, they will just leave it for you. After they will ask you one question: where does this leave us? Where do we go from here? Then you will start again to look stupid. Nigeria should ask themselves all these things. Where has these things left us? Where do we go from here? So when we are talking about Nigeria, people just bring it's all those things. You see, the fact that we cannot come around the table and say, look, that's why when I want to say about Nigeria, people must have known since I've been coming here, if at all. People have known where my views is likely to fall into. Which is, I don't see Nigeria. I don't discuss Nigeria as abstract. I don't. Nigeria is a country, yes. a country of many nations. That is the beginning. That is the beginning. That is the first foundation you have to go through. You involve people, tell them what do you want. Things are not moving. It's not a question of maybe you bring 3 ethnic groups or 4, they make a decision and then you lord it over the others, use money, buy. Although, look at where we are. Look at anybody that can be able to bring 1 million and give voters. You become the president. But after that, where has he left us? We've not moved anywhere. It's what's called the chicken that climbed on from the ground on top of the anthill. When this type of thing happens, we all know what Haruna Goroh is saying. Yes, he's fairly honest in his, and I understand. Laced with frustration, people are frustrated. But we can't solve a problem like Albert Einstein said, with the imagination that led to the problem. Nigerians, we need to say, look, this thing we agreed is not working. What do we do? Honestly, if somebody say, I don't want to be part of Nigeria, honestly, let the person go. That's why I always say my rant. The other day I said it here, people shut me down. In 1914, a white man came, met different nations. Tell them you today you start answering Nigeria and you are now called Nigerians. All of a sudden, the people called Nigerians now decided it's an act of God. It's an act of God. God will join us together. Before it used to be Nigeria is inseparable. Nigeria cannot be dissolved, indissoluble, all those things. It's a white man who gave you the name, everything. You now say it's an act of God. Okay. 112 years later, another white man is trying to see if he can separate that. Why are we not seeing it as an act of God? Is it only act of God to bring us together by force? So it cannot be act of God if another white man somewhere say, look, some people should go their way. That is why we lost value. All these things we just have to. You don't need which experiment haven't we tried? We are different people, yes. Now, it is not working. How can it work? Can't we sit down and say, look, this is what to do? And if somebody who do not agree, let the person go. Because our problem stems from the fact that we are forcing ourselves on ourselves. That's all. That is where the problem starts. That's why we are where we are. And we can't move out because the type of politics they do, you can borrow money from World Bank or steal money from anywhere, bear vote, then tomorrow the same thing will happen. Haven't we seen it? Have we not seen it? Who is benefiting? Nothing. So when James gave his submission, I felt, yes, that is the submission of a wise person, full of evidence, and he reflected the reality where Nigeria is coming from. But we always are about that, in a debate, you shut down that aspect. What do you expect from Nigerians? Protect your vote. How will they use gun? Protect your vote. Okay, you vote. We protect them. Then they go and write another thing and give INEC. INEC announce. You go to court. They say the only evidence the court will rely on is the one given by INEC. So have you protected your vote? Yes. If I'm giving evidence and INEC is testifying, giving their own, it's INEC they will take. If you give INEC maybe 500 billion, they write result for you, you become a president. You come and tender your own, INEC will tender their own. They say, according to the law, this is what they take. By the way, are we not ashamed? Let me now pen this to tell people because I want to be a gadfly to provoke thought. Me, let me just say, a university called New York University. I did not attend the New York University. I go and forge the certificate that I studied physics from New York University. And I want to go and teach in a secondary school in Nigeria. I tendered the certificate. The Teaching Service Commission looked at it, flagged it with the American embassy. They said, no, this is fake. It's forged. that they can't give me. And the job I'm looking for is about 40,000 naira a month, or maybe 50. Okay, let's just say 100. I couldn't get it. They say why? I say no, according to our records, the New York University returned that there's no name like this. You didn't attend it. So it's a forged this thing. For 100,000 naira job, or maybe 40, I will leave. Join one party and they make me presidential candidate. I tender the same certificate to be the commander-in-chief with millions and everything. They will accept it. You want me to belong to that type of country? Yes, you want me to. You would forge certificate from University of Lagos or Benin or Nsukka or Abia State University, and I'm anywhere, ABU, Zaria. You forge certificate from there. You want to go and teach in a nursery school. The proprietor finds out that this is forged. The chief will say no. And that same certificate, use it to join any party, and you wangle your way, you become presidential candidate. You can use it to rule Nigeria, where you will be salary may be 10 million a month, presidential jet, live in the best house, live everything. But to use a forged certificate and get a job of 40,000 or 80,000, they said it's forged. But you can use it to be a commander-in-chief. Do people think at all? Do people reason this way? Today is not an offense, forged certificate to be a commander-in-chief. But in that same country, that same certificate you forged, you cannot use it to be opening gate at the most remote First Bank branch in Nigeria. You want to join First Bank, and they say bring certificate. You said you had a HND from one polytechnic, and it's forged, or BAC, and it's forged. Then you leave. You say I can't get a job. They say it's forged. But you join a political party, and you can use it to become governor and earn better money with a siren, with the security, everything. Is that the type of country somebody want me to belong to? You see, The thing is, that's why I said, according to Aristotle, an unexamined life is not worth living. Every day we examine our life. That's why when you are doing this job, you say, I've done this job for 10 years. I'm applying for another job. Because you've examined yourself, say, look, I came here with a bachelor's, I've done part-time masters, I've got this experience, I think I should be aiming higher. You're examining your life, you move. Why can't we examine our life as a nation? You forge a certificate in Nigeria, you can't use it to be a gate man. If they find out, they sack you. But that same forged certificate, you can use it to be a commander-in-chief. And you want me to belong to that such a country. When you argue, people will not say this. Look, people should read. No, but this is a fact, man. This is a fact. If Tinubu is not a politician, and you take Tinubu, come and teach at a University of Benin secondary school, he carry in Chicago State University, they flag with the American embassy, they check, he say it's not. They sack him. But hey, with it now, it's not offense. He can use it to be commander-in-chief. What sort of country is that? And we are still thinking of how we in Nigeria can move forward. Little things. That's why the Englishman will ask you, where do we go from here? Where has that left us? Let me stop here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, CM. We get your drift entirely. Before I come to the good, just want to tell our viewers and those who are listening, thank you. Invite your friends, come in and join us. Share and like the broadcast, and also assist us financially. No little contribution is termed little. It goes a long way in helping the platform to continue to grow and to fund what it needs to fund in terms of broadcasting. So yes, the good. I'm not sure I've ever seen you on this platform before. I don't think so, but I don't know. Did you watch the broadcast earlier on when Rudolph was handling it? What's your take on some of the things you heard from the guests, including people on the panel, including some of the conversations some of the panelists have made in this current broadcast? You know, the floor is yours.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I just saw a notification about Dr. Goroh and KJ. I think it's only KJ that will know me. It's been a while. to be honest, it's been a while. That was on another platform, you know. I know KJ will recognize me. You know. Actually, I've been in Nigeria. I went to Nigeria to save a business, my brother. I was just listening to the last commentator. You know, no, no. That country cannot be salvaged. To be honest with you, that country can never be redeemed.
Why do you say so? Is that not? Are you not being pessimistic?
I just lost €100,000 business. I just went and closed the business. There's no point. No, since 2017. Those guys, the country is being run by Agberos. These are uneducated. I don't know. If I start telling you, no. I was in a gathering where, what's it called? Local government chairman and his entourage came in. Honestly speaking, the money those people spend that day was, I would, let me not exaggerate. It will be more than 50 million naira. Those one night, well, at a spot. And when I look at these people, just scouts. So how are we gonna, all these things that are saying they now local government people, chairmen get their allocation, and those guys are not doing anything. Once that money comes in, they just share it among themselves. And when you look at them, out. So like I said, unfortunately, I wasn't opportune to listen to Dr. Goroh. He's someone I follow. He's someone I listen to. I actually came in to see if he's on the show, but it seems his time.
But Dr. Goroh is advocating that we stay as a union. He still believes in Nigeria. The only thing he's saying is that he wants the right person to be in office. So are you saying that Dr. Goroh is besides himself in what he's asking for?
He can, I don't know, he can think like that, but from what I don't know, I live all my life. I grew up in Nigeria. Like I grew up in Lagos. When this thing started in 1999, when I started saying this thing, because all this mess started from Lagos. Some might not understand what I'm saying. All this Agberoism, all this touting this thing started from Lagos. I know when what's his name? From Jakonde, Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. I'm a beneficiary of free education in Lagos. I went to Methodist Boys High School, Broad Street, Lagos. Then it was a free education. Then I think it was Mudashiru came in. Buhari did a coup and chased, and locked up Jakonde. Brought Mudashiru, from Mudashiru to, I think, to Rasaki, until this man came to, what's it, Buba Marwa was the last military. No, Ahibe was even. No, Buba Marwa was the last military governor of Lagos State. Under Buba Marwa, this touting came up. He set up this we call task force. If this will this will don't catch you or don't arrest you, because then all this touting they were doing where they see people carrying stuff, they order. My brother, I went to Lagos. Virtually every street, every corner, they just stand there with stick, collecting money. And when you look at them, none of them is educated, And they left them there, on purpose, because they are the one that we snatch ballot boxes for them on election day. But to be honest with you, I almost shed tears. My Lagos has turned to I don't know what I would call it. Is it those country in South America, what those what's the name of that country that one guy is trying to? I think El Salvador. El Salvador, yeah. Lagos has virtually turned to every street. So imagine, to me, I know some people are saying everybody is bad, all of them are bad, but without alliance, somebody has to take power from these people. Otherwise, I know I have a second home here. If, like I told you, I've closed the business. There's no point me wasting my time. Every year, I spend 3 months, 4 months in Nigeria.
So you might. Do you mind if I asked? Would that be, too much of a privacy? Just give us a little snippet. What was this business about, and what led to it being closed? What are the challenges? So that those there might be some people here who may want to say, you know what, I want to be patriotic to go and set up a business back home. Give us a snippet of what the challenge was.
It's a family business. It's a poultry business. I own a poultry. I've actually bought it over from
poultry business. Interesting.
Yeah. I bought it from a woman. She retired, and then she couldn't manage it, and she relocated to Canada. So I came in and I tried, since 2017 and 18, blah blah blah. But I can tell you, since May 2023, when that pronunciation, when somebody made a presentation that subsidy is gone, I never made any profit since then. So how can I? Even then, I reduced my staff from 17 to 9, just to. So why am I at the end of the day, the last one was I should go and install solar of 13.8 million for me to, and then I look at myself. This business, if the business had made 13 million, 13.8 million, maybe I will. So I will now bring 13.8 million from Europe, and then I go and invest it again. No. Not even apart from that, government policies. It's as if they see you business entrepreneurs as one kind of they will be coming with all sort of levies, taxes, this, that. They think by by levying people, collecting taxes, all form of levies and taxes. That's how So, my brother, to be honest, I'm at peace now. To be honest, I'm at peace.
Good. Was it? And sorry, after this will be the last question, then I'll go to Ife. So, was it a systemic thing, or was it just a lack of infrastructure that was the problem?
No, I told you this thing cost investment cost me 100,000 euros. No, it's not the investment. It's just the cost of running the business. Imagine, okay, when we started this business, when I started business, I used to spend like 2.4 million, 2.5 million monthly on to power my diesel and in fuel and everything. My brother, every month we spend 17 million naira. Yeah, 17. How much is this? Another day, this is what used to cost us 2.5 million. Now it's gone up to 17, 18 million naira. Even then it's virtually, that's removal of fuel subsidy. And thank God I even closed the business, because how would I be? How can I wouldn't have been. How will I be buying diesel at 1,300 or 1,400 now, or whatever they are buying it now?
So this is a total loss for you.
Like I said, I'm at peace. What will I do? I try to save the business since last 3 years or whatever, since that May 2023. I will every year I will go home. I will participate in the election. I participated in the election of Buhari 2019. This last one, 2023. I don't know the day.
Why you not join APC? Why you refuse to join APC?
Which guy APC? Over my dead body.
Okay, good. Thank you. But you know what? I'm happy. I haven't. Have you met me before?
No, I wouldn't know, but KJ will know me.
No, don't worry. There's a reason why. You will see why I asked you this question. So earlier on, while I was in the first show, I ran into this video I'm going to play right now for us. And I was hoping that in the course of this conversation, we would dovetail into this. And then you came and you mentioned poetry. I will play this video and then we'll have this conversation. Just give me a second.
Una government, here say egg scarcity day. Una government, here say chicken no day. Your government heard that there is no eggs. Your government heard there's no chicken. And the only solution is to go make a deal with China to bring more eggs. Like to partner with China to come solve the problem of Nigerians. With millions of farmers. Your government said to solve the problem of this country, the egg scarcity, the poultry problems, that I'm going to go to China and give them $900 million to come solve the problems of Nigeria. Now, listen, guys, right? I feel like maybe they have strategies that I don't know about, because on the surface, maybe we wouldn't know what's up with the deal or whatever is going on. But you know, we have a lot of poultry farmers in Nigeria that can access grants, can access loans, insecurity, a lot. And I feel like $900 million would have really gone a long way to help us produce more eggs locally. But hey, Chinese, come on in. Come on in.
All right, guys. So that's why immediately you said poetry. I said, ha. It's as if you were trailing me when I saw this video earlier on and I saved it. In fact, I was looking for a way. How would I move this conversation from discussing, you know, the political mindset in Nigeria as projected by Dr. Goroh and go into this? Then you came and you mentioned. That's why I asked you, have you seen me before? Did we meet anywhere? So the Nigerian government, I actually thought it was a joke and a lie. And I went and did a little bit of research. And I discovered that $900 million worth of partnership this government went into with Chinese to produce 6 million eggs daily. When we have the good as a farmer, we have many more the goods as farmers in Nigeria producing eggs, a lot of them in poultry and other areas. And we opted to go to China. Like that lady said, maybe there's a strategy they know that I don't know, or anybody here. So Ify, and then we'll come to forefathers. You are the two last people to speak. Please, Ify, I don't know. What's your take?
What the A? I just don't say what the. Did I just hear? See, it was on this channel that I said something. We have every resources in this world to be whatever we want to be in that country. I said on this channel that we don't need to go and, you know how they lie and give contrast to Lebanese company, to Israeli company. We don't need it. Just like my brother said, one of my friends, she's now in Texas. She moved to Texas. She started the same poultry business in Owerri. She packed up.
Why? Why?
No electricity. That is even the most important. There is no electricity. Like that is my brother said. She said, if the cost of buying fuel and gas, you know, or more, that will even eat the cost of everything. And mind you are doing this alone. You are not getting any subsidy from the government. Government is not giving you anything. The truth of the matter is that it would be hard for any business to sustain any business in Nigeria. It would be so hard. Apart from businesses, you know, people are doing, I'm not talking about agriculture. How many people go to farm now? People can't even farm. So you're going to go get the Chinese people to come and farm, or I mean, in our country, that's what it is, because it's some part of farming.
But if in fairness to the government,
yes,
don't you think bringing the Chinese has, maybe the Chinese will bring some scaling into
What kind
the
of
whole
scaling?
thing? I'm just
Chin, I
asking.
know you're trying to play the devil advocate. We don't need them. There is nothing like, but what are they going to do that we cannot do in Nigeria? Tell me what they're going to do.
But in the US, you have Chinese farmers. They're buying land and farming in the US.
Okay, don't they benefit from the government? So why is it that you're going to go get the Chinese to come to Nigeria that Nigerians can't do, that you can't give them benefit? What are you talking? I know you're trying to play devil's advocate, right? What is it that is in this America that we cannot do in our country? What is it in the China that we cannot do in Nigeria? I told you here, if they award a contract, it is the city. For example, if it's a city contract, the city will get the employees to do the job. So what are you talking? We have everything. I told you on this channel, we don't need to borrow any more money. The money in Nigeria is enough to pay all the Nigerian debt and fix our country, and Nigeria will become the best country to ever live in this world. But guess what? They don't want to do that. Do we have middle class now? We no longer have middle class. It's either you are rich or you are poor. So I can understand what my friend is saying. Do you know a lot of people that want to go to Nigeria and invest? But how can you invest in Nigeria, a country where there is insecurity? The food basket, Benue State, the food basket of our country, they can't even go to farm. So the courageous people, very few people that were able to go, they will go, and when they bring the food, it is very expensive. Do you blame them? No. So what are you people in the north can't even go to farm? So the best thing Nigeria can ever do, which they know, but they still don't want to do it. Why? Is insecurity, fight the insecurity. Growing up, remember we talked about it. If I want to go to Lagos, then you will take a night bus. There is nothing like insecurity until maybe 15 years ago that we started hearing about this.
They were imported.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So how can we be in a country we don't even have borders, border security, or border checkpoint? Anybody can just, come into Nigeria. Come on. In a country where as corrupt as Nigeria, that a soldier spoke up. A soldier spoke up. Let me divert a little bit. They tortured him for 1 month and dismissed him. All because he said, why not get the children of these politicians to come and serve in our military? That is the only thing he said. In our country, we have a long way. Again, we know that Nigeria is a very interesting country. I don't know if we will be able to save that country. I don't know. Is it doable? It is doable. But what people are saying, like Tinubu, when he campaigned, he told us, he's gonna do all this, gonna do all that. I don't care who the president is. All I care is somebody who will fix the country. Is Maska going to fix the country? Let him become the president. I don't have no problem with that. If Tony is gonna be president or forefather, be the president, fix the country. I don't care about that. We are busy fighting about religion and tribe and nonsense. And that's why I say, you in Canada, I am here in the US, 2 a.m. There was a time I used to do 1 a to 1p, 2a to 2p. I don't have no problem getting out of my driveway. But can you do that in Nigeria? Hell no. So what are we even talking about? The easiest thing the government, the one thing I love about Nigerians, we are the most hardworking people in this whole world. If you like, argue with your keyboard. The things we are asking for, it's not even hard. And let me tell you, Chin, had you been the government, we have security in our country. We have power in our country. We have healthcare in our country. Just the basic social amenities. Whether the government is stealing money, nobody will even bother about that. How can you say a country that we have oil in Nigeria? What is our business with the war going on in Iraq, Iran, and America and Israel? What is our business with that? A country, we are so blessed in that country. We have a lot of natural resources. Lithium. Lithium is not only used for battery. Lithium is also used for medication we call lithium. Very powerful medication here. We have cocoa and other stuff. We have gold. Come on, what if God has gave us everything, or has given us everything to be the best in the whole world? There are some countries that doesn't even have natural resources, but they are thriving and they are doing so well. Our own is not mismanagement, it's all about corruption. Like my brother said, somebody will sit down, a politician, sit down and spend 50 million. No, you can't even tell me, I don't think I can tell you one of our politicians that you will say that this is the business they have. Their business, their job is just a politician. Politician is a job in Nigeria. Even the people that used to have businesses, tell me if their businesses is functioning. That's why somebody will bring up money and buy a phone, 200 million, 150 million, 20 million, 50 million, 100 million, just to contest an election. And you will tell me that the person, once the person get into power, that is going to think about ordinary citizens? No. It's not that hard. If it is not selfishness, and if it is not greed. For example, Dr. Nwigwe that died, a few years ago, that they said that he has 100 and something building in London. I don't have no problem. If it's his money, he's entitled. But the question you ask yourself, how many of the foreigners have you seen bring money to buy properties in Nigeria? You that is even in Nigeria, will you even buy property in Nigeria? Even if you do that, it's not even secure. Tomorrow they can come and demolish the house and you don't have no government to go to. Which government? The same government that MC Oluomo said that he will never obey the law except the president tells him to do so. That is the judiciary you want me to be part of? No, let us be honest. Do we have leaders? Do we have judiciary? Go to court, go to court. Let me tell you a little bit of story. When I came here newly, I was living with one woman. I rented a room from her house, Nigeria. Long story short, she wanted to evict me because she gave me rules and regulations that nobody will ever abide by that rules and regulations. And she took me to court. If you see how I was panicking, if you see how I was panicking, I thought I was going to die. I thought they're going to deport me. My uncle met me in court, said, I've lived in this country enough. Watch how this case is going to end. And we went to judge. The judge can see the anxiety in me. And I gave the judge the list of the rules and regulations. And judge asked the woman, Nigerian woman, will you be able to keep all these rules and regulations you are giving to this girl? So you cannot evict her. She's going to stay in this house and she's going to do this and do this and do that. That is the country. I don't have anybody to speak for me. But can I do that in Nigeria? No. You cannot. Nobody will ever abide by your... Ma'am, first of all, you're not even supposed to be renting your room out. If you're going to have somebody to abide by all this is not... God, the judge was so mad. And then see me. Immediately I thought that the case was going in my favor. Look at me, see me. I came out, I called my friends. I said, oh my God, there is justice in this country. Can you even go to a judge and get a judgment the same day? They tell you to come to court on Monday. You come to court, the case will end. Maybe 1 year you're still going to court. Come on now. Let's even tell ourselves the truth. Is Nigeria a country? What made us a country? Just because of the people, the Nigerians are the only people.
If he's in Nigeria, you will never be in court. You may be walking. One day judgment will come. They call it Jankara. They will say you come to court and pleaded guilty. Therefore, the court has given judgment. You'll be wondering, when did I go to court? That is the way it works in Nigeria. You don't need to appear in court. The landlord will just go to... Yes, the landlord will go and procure one lady on the street. Tell and say, when you go there, you plead guilty. answer iffy, answer all these things. Before you know, they knock the gavel,
Just
judgment giving. Say they give you 2 weeks
let
to
me
pack out.
see.
After 2 weeks, they will send you a letter from the court. Say you are. You say, when did I go to court? They say, have you forgotten? They call it Jankara system in Nigeria.
See,
That is
let
a
me
court.
tell you, there is nothing automatic about all this. It is very straightforward, my brother. If we want this country to work, it will work.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, until we begin to tell ourselves the truth. The thing is that we
Okay.
are not truthful to ourselves.
No problem, Ify. Thanks. Masca is here, but before I come to you, Masca, forefather. So you're following the story. I hear this matter came up subliminally yesterday. I don't know how deep you went into it. What's your take on what you just heard and what you've read?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Holding the fort for KJ and all, and greetings to the panelists in the chat and the viewers. About that Chinese egg stuff, I was looking into it when you were showing it, and it seems like a mixed bag. I'm not sure what the problem is with our space, because on the surface, I'm not sure whether there's much wrong with it in terms of scaling up Nigerian egg production. But when you look closer into it, because the idea was to produce about 6 million eggs a day in Nigeria, because we lack protein in our diet. And to an extent, I can attest to that as somebody that just came back from Abuja recently, and I noticed that there's too much sugar within what they are consuming there. So, but the technology transfer that is part of the agreement, which they are supposed to transfer the companies over to Nigerian ownership, is where the rub is. That's where the problem is, because when I check the history of China in Africa, or in the case of Nigeria, the transfer of technology, transfer of knowledge, and transfer of expertise, especially the expertise part, is often limited, and it doesn't necessarily happen. And if that doesn't happen, what is the point? In other words, you are still dependent on them. So that is where I'm concerned. And the question you have to ask yourself, why is it that Nigeria doesn't do this? Why? Because the example that was given, that it failed. And because the environment is not designed for it to succeed, except the government is the one doing it. Or is it the Nigerians that make sure it doesn't succeed? Who knows? The entire thing.
Can I throw this in for you, then you continue from here? But before now, we've had large-scale poultry businesses, and we have small-scale poultry businesses. Obasanjo still owns a poultry business. People like the former governor of Murtala Nyako in Adamawa State owns a poultry business. We had NASCO that was doing farm businesses and producing cornflakes. He also owns a poultry business. Why are we outsourcing this kind of business that should be a locally produced thing to a foreign entity?
Yeah, it's a fair question, and this is part of the decay we are experiencing in Nigeria. Many areas we used to do well before, but we no longer do well, because most of the stuff we do is not sustainable. You can argue because of various other reasons. I will always choose security as a core issue that we have, because most of our development is not sustainable, including the ones we are making now. If we can make all the difference we make now, if we don't fix that security problem, it's not going to be sustainable. We are going to lose it again. So, however, the pattern that I see is that China doesn't transfer deep expertise to Nigerians, and our leaders, I'm not even sure they care. I'm not even sure they care about that. And from looking at it on the merits of the collaboration, as they call it, it sounds like they are trying to, because it's mostly Chinese funded, they are trying to scale up production of food within Nigeria. I prefer that than importing it from overseas, because at least they will employ Nigerian workers in those factories, and they will train Nigerians to do those things. And if I was a Nigerian government official, secret service, whatever you want to name it, their priority should be acquiring the expertise to do those things themselves, scale it up to fellow Nigerians so that they can be able to master the technology. We are not mastering technology. That's at the core of our problems. Apart from security challenge we don't master technologies. How many things? It's only Dangote that has managed to put something together, and even that is not Nigerians that are mastering it. Most of the company is being run by a white man now. The Dangote CEO right now. Say whatever you like. The guy sounds very coherent, looks like a true professional when he talks. You don't see Nigerians talk like that. I don't know what is it with us, where everything we just do it just seems to be shabby and untidy somehow. So that is what I see in the way we do business, and we can argue for various reasons. Like the gentleman that talked about his poultry farm, and imagine when the Tinubu comes in and just flows the currency and all chaos ensues. It's just a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's an environment that is designed to be hostile to the people so that people run away and go and serve foreigners as always. This is the problem with the country, and until we decide that okay, enough is enough, we're going to make sure that we build our roots strong so that this kind of upheaval is not going to be occurring anymore. So until we do that, and at the core of it, you have to start with a strong security framework. Then you put your law enforcement in place. You do that. If you do that, the rest is going to fit in place. That said, I wanted to address a point Ovie made earlier on regarding religions. Because, sometimes when people say something, I have to, take a step back and say, okay, it sounds good, but I have to go and check to confirm. And I think there's an element of truth to what he said regarding the split between Christian Muslim that could lead to instability in Nigeria. But there are very, very few cases where the instability that occurs within those nations that led to a flip is because of religion. And the only case I've had actually that historically, when I checked it, was that of I think Bengal, though that area that now is now Bangladesh area, and that was because of the British people decided to partition those areas for whatever reason they chose to partition it, because some part is Muslim, some part is Muslims, other parts are Christian and maybe Hindu, so they decided to do their partition, and it led to all kinds of issues. But there are many nations. There are, like Herzegovina. I was quite shocked to hear that that's in Europe, where they have 50%, almost 50% split within both religions since 18 something, even 17 something or so, and it still remains like that today. They are still like that today, and there are many nations that I was quite surprised. Even Chad, it's almost 50-50. So it doesn't necessarily mean you implode. Every nation comes with different baggages, negatives and positives. It's up to the people to decide how to mitigate the negatives and ensure that their actual national interest comes first. And it could be a blessing, because it means the two major Abrahamic religions, the most powerful ones, are also present within our country. They can also have links within different people, depending on how you manage it. In some cases, people do away with religion altogether. The Chinese don't subscribe to any particular straight religion, so they don't care about it. And there are other nations that have done the same. So it doesn't mean we don't have the power. It doesn't mean that North and South is meant we are destined to fight each other. It doesn't necessarily have to happen like that. If it happens peacefully, it's all good. But that said, I will leave that point. So you all know my own this doctrine. If you don't secure yourself, if you don't have a strong nation, the rest is just details. All this talk we are talking is just going to be for naught. We are going to make progress, and that's the one that scares me the most, actually. You know what? The one that scares me the most is things improve. Nigerians will forget about the fact that in proverbial terms that they left their door open. We'll forget until we go back to the same cycle, and that's the one that scares me the most. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, Maska, welcome to the show. You were here earlier on. You heard Dr. Goroh. Actually, this segment was supposed to be a review of that, but we dovetailed into this food security matter. So, there is no more middle class in Nigeria, according to IFI. Maska, do you agree? And then, do we lack supply chain expertise to scale up egg production? As somebody in the comment section said, what's your take on this whole 900 million partnership with China to scale up egg production in Nigeria?
All right, thank you, Chim. And good evening, everybody. If you good to see you once again, Dr. CM Uzo. I hope you will not run away today. The
You know, say me
manager.
another. Another wahala.
Yes,
My good rest.
okay, well done,
And yeah.
forefathers and the good. Okay, so I mean, maybe some people, maybe like the good doesn't know. So I need to state that I'm actually here in Nigeria, and the coincidence also is that in 2021 we okay. So I won't use the word we. There's somebody who approached me that the person wants to do poultry business and that I should kindly advise. So from one thing to another, at some point, the person sat and said, "Okay, look, you've been putting so much in this project. I will give you 40% of the project." So we really went in earnest to a point where we actually managed to get a bank loan. And the same way we are talking now, for me, it looked almost annoying that in Kano, for instance, every morning 2 trailers of eggs will drive into Kano. This at 20 in 2020.
From where? From where?
From mostly the east and to some extent from the southwest. So I decided, okay, look, let's do this thing. It's not just about the money, but look, food security is always very important. We went about, we got the loan, we've done a lot at that point, but that was the point when this country really started turning upside down in terms of inflation. Luckily enough for the person, I was actually part of that project. I'm a very risk-averse person. So what we did, the first thing I did a presentation on a cash flow analysis. And then I did what I call a stress test analysis. We sat down, we analyzed for the poultry business, assume all the fundamental factors of birds having sickness and basic stuff. Let's just focus on the cost of the inputs, which is primarily chicken feed. I did an analysis, like, let's say there is increase 10-15%. And it was very clear that if the price goes to 20% increase, cost of your input, there is no way you will not be running at a loss. And guess what happened? 2 weeks down the road, the price, actually the increase before we even start, that increase of 20% actually happened. So I had to go back and sit with them and say, look, I don't think we should go ahead with this. Because clearly, when you are not in charge of your cost of input into a business, obviously you cannot be the one to determine what the price of egg will be in the market. So that business, we shouldn't even start it. So I can relate to my brother the good. It's there are many factors. The environmental
No, but Masca, let me just say this and then you continue. So you see this. I'm going to highlight it again, and then you can. So you and the good are not, and all of us here, we lack critical thinking. So you're just complaining. I mean, according to this person, you're complaining. You're not.
No.
Who the heck is that?
Though the good is just good at running abroad. He's such a coward.
No, that's not. Look, okay, so I would not. I'm also not happy with you, Chim. Yeah, because there's some comments that I can say. For instance, I know the person who is making that comment. The person is not here in Nigeria. I doubt if the person has ever been in Nigeria.
No, but that person is not technically a Nigerian in the technical sense of it. So we can excuse him. But you and I, me, Ify, the good, Ovie, Uzo, we're lazy. We lack critical thinking. That's why we've run away.
No, I'm even saying that, look, so that's why I said, me, I'm even here in Nigeria. So nobody will accuse me of running away.
Yeah, but you also lack the critical thinking too. That's why you're complaining.
No, it was, if
he may be.
Look, that, listen, Chim, if we had collected that money and did that
sure?
poultry, I would have
Are
been
you sure it's
I
not
would
eight?
have been out of this country. You know why? Because they will be hounding me. It was a bank loan. I would have had to run out of the country. I am still here because of my critical thinking skill. Because I asked myself, if the inflation is going at the rate it's going, what will be the fate of your business when you cannot determine the price of your product in the market? And you are not the one to determine even the price
It might
of
be.
the input, the chicken feed you go and buy. Actually, to tell you the level of critical thinking we've done, as we speak today,
I know.
we have a semovita making plant in Kano. It's inside the container because we thought to a level where, look, we should be able to go and buy the maize in the market and make the most important component of the feed. But the level of inflation, it was so much so that like you are just going to waste your time, sincerely.
Not
The
even only
inflation.
that. Where is the electricity master?
No, that's what. No, what I. If you listen to me, I said if you have to even assume most of the other fundamental problems
Okay.
away.
Okay.
Assume insecurity away. Assume electricity away. Assume sickness of chickens, and it comes without any warning, and it will wipe out all your bets. Actually, what we even did out of critical thinking, we decided that we will start with 200,000 bets, but our capital, we would leave another amount of money that if these 200,000 bets die, we have enough money to go and buy another 200,000 bets. That's the level of the critical thinking. But it was so clear that business will fail, and people will be hounding us for their money and will not be able to repay them.
Master, can I say something?
Yes.
You know, one of the mistakes that you guys made is trying to start a business with loan from the bank. You know, even if all those variables were there, you know, even if you know, you had an environment that is not hospitable, I mean, that is inclement, you know, the fact that you are going to borrow money from the bank to start the business, I don't know what input people have. If all the it's the money that you're taking from the bank that will form your entire capital for starting the business, that was a big mistake. That's a big mistake because you would have run yourself into very serious problem. Very serious problem.
I hear you, Tony, but
Sorry,
look,
Masker,
again,
sorry, I'll come back to you again, please. Just a second, please, if you don't mind. Mr. Tony, what is wrong in loaning us businessmen loaning money from banks?
On the back, yeah.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about Nigeria. We're not talking about.
Even Nigeria, Tony. Even Nigeria. So is it better to use your service and put in a business and a crash, or to borrow from bank? Which one is better?
Okay. When you want to start it, this is, you know, okay. As a contractor, let me just speak first as a contractor, and I'm probably going to speak also as someone
Masker,
who.
I'll be coming back to you, please.
And someone who has also had to fund the kind of thing that Master is talking about with my own personal money. You know, as a matter of fact, my wife's business that when we're in Nigeria. You know, as a contractor working for government, there was a governor who told me, that I should not go and take money to fund government business from the bank. I should not. Because it will ruin me. I would look like a thief. I would, in fact, run away like Maska said, from Nigeria. So what you do is you have to initially start with your own capital, start small, and then watch the business grow. Then when you can establish a good track record and you can see, unfortunately in Nigeria, you can't plan on a long term. Policies are inconsistent. So if you go and take money from the bank, you can find suddenly that the regime, borrowing this thing has immediately changed without notification. You can have prices go up, like you have said. So there are a lot of imponderables that you can see with the kind of situation we have in Nigeria. So if you are doing a long-term project, that will take time for you to begin to reap the profit, and you go and borrow a loan, you're actually, that's harakiri. You're killing yourself.
Okay. All right,
Anyway,
Master, back to you.
I'm not going to argue with you, Tony, but I'm also, just so you know, by training, I'm a finance person. Okay, so the person consulted me even because he understands that I'm a thoroughbred finance person. I don't like bragging, but look, it's okay. So I hear your point, but I also don't like bootstrapping. Most of the businesses that fail is because you're bootstrapping. You're trying to manage things instead of going out and do it in a proper way. But it's by the side. So Chim, the bottom line, the most important point I'm trying to make is that the environment in the country is not business friendly, sincerely speaking. But I think for us to understand what's happening beyond the business environment, things like insecurity, even if there was no inflation, I'm sure the poultry farm would have closed today because it was located in a place where you really would have had insecurity issues. Somebody would have probably come to kidnap all the workers. There are already existing poultry farms that have closed, that I know. In fact, the guy who we hired a manager even 6 months before we thought we would commence. The guy we hired was managing a poultry farm which collapsed. So I'm just saying that the business environment is not friendly. But the issue with Nigeria today, this poultry business you're talking, this China thing you're seeing, is beyond just the environment. This government, one of the things I don't like about the government is the fact that they are only going to dig us deeper into our problems that we have today. What am I talking about? To start with, there was food problem in the country. What did the Tinubu government decide to do? They decided to go and import food into the country. And by doing that, they have killed a lot of the farmers. Farmers today are out of, it's not just middle class. Even as small as farmers, this government have erased them because you've imported food outside, and the local production for the food that you're supposed to promote, you've completely wiped it out. So I'm not surprised that they are doing this. I don't know what the goal is, but if you listen to me on this platform all the time when I come, I keep saying that look, if you're black, you're black, and the world would see the way you will be shocked, Chim. For a white man, I look like Ifi, I look like you, I look like Chim, I look like CM. There's no difference in their eyes. We're all the same. Now, so if your leader is constantly going to these white people, my conviction is that they are not going to look for our own interest. Every race is trying to cater for itself. And they are just pushing things down our throat. The last one that we haven't finished swallowing, you go and collected 700 pounds, 700 million, is it million pounds or billion pounds?
745 million.
What are you going to do with it? You want to expand our port. What does our port do today? What are we producing that we need to expand our port so that we can export? Nothing. So why are you expanding our port? You should be shrinking our port business so that the amount of things we import, the amount of rubbish we import into this country should reduce. We should actually close one of, like this, what do they call it now? This Apapa, what is, it's nothing more than a gratified rural port where I import mainly Tokumbo cars. So I think it's also, for you to understand it, you have to see it within the general government policy, irresponsible policy, where the attention is just to go and continue dumping things into the country. So even the eggs, even when they cook egg in my house, there's some egg you see like rubber. Actually, very soon I think I'll stop eating egg because I don't trust it. No, seriously, I don't find it funny. If they cook the egg, you should not eat it in the next 1 hour. When you come back, the thing is looking like rubber. And so I understand when Chinese come, what do you think Chinese will do? You think they will think of our health?
GMO.
They will bother about how the people are going to do? No. So I think I'll rest it here. I think we need to go beyond even the environment is really bad. It's bad. But I think to understand what is happening also, you have to look at a lot of things. They are expanding the port to improve the things that we are importing. They went and imported food instead of supporting our farmers. I don't like Buhari. Everybody around me knows it. But the one thing now I must have to give Buhari is that during his time, there was a lot of local rice production, which has totally disappeared even now. All right. Okay, Tony, I think you are the one moderating now. I need to rest my case.
Masker, start your own poultry. Have like 5 to 10 chicken. Made them they rear them traditionally. They will give you your egg that you will consume instead of buying eggs.
Let me open up to you. We decided not to go with the eggs. We decided to go with what we call Noila chicken, which is a combination of the local chicken and agricultural chicken. Even the Noila, we have to one day sell all the chickens because they're almost getting sick. That's as bad as it is. And there's no government policy to say, okay, we are going to be looking at this chicken disease so that we can protect our farmers from it. You have to be struggling with it. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Masker, for that.
Jim, sorry, because you introduced this whole topic. Have you tried to check who this Chinese company is and who is behind that?
If you have done, please educate us before I come to Uzo.
No, I haven't. But I'm asking you because we know Nigeria. We know how things work here.
Okay, so this is my conspiracy before I come to Uzo. My conspiracy is that, listen, Tinubu is. I'm going to play another video. I hope I can find it. It will give us a little. That video says a lot, but it will break us down into the economic and business side of this government. My conspiracy is that this government is doing deals. And what are the deals? The deals are I go chasing investors who come, I get a 10%, not necessarily in terms of bribery, I get percentages into the business for my family. I get a pot business, I get a percentage into it for my family, I keep it. And by the time I'm leaving, there's a legacy for my family to live on. This is my conspiracy. Because this government is lazy in terms of sitting down, borrowing from Mr. Obi's concept of moving us from consumption to production. This government is not interested in that. This government is more interested in bringing business operators from outside to come and run those different areas. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't. Tony, do you get my drift?
No, you're absolutely right, Chim. Sitting inside, from the inside, looking at this is exactly what's happening. Yeah. Even all the Costa, every business, like for instance, the Mikano, the road that is from what's this place now, Kaduna to Kano, you carry it and give a Mikano. We all know where they come from. This Costa Road, is it a Nigerian company that is doing it?
Those are the things that's what is going on.
This for me is one of my grounds because you cannot not develop your own. You cannot not develop your own, and the chicken will not come home to roost. It's impossible.
Yeah. Thanks. And Uzo, before I come to you, that this is the difference between an OBJ and probably Jonathan and this APC government. OBJ would bring people in, but the whole idea is for instance, the telecom industry, people don't understand that the caveat they gave them was that Nigerians must own certain percentages in those businesses. That's why a company like Econet, for instance, had to source funds locally. MTN came in with bulk funds, but could not own it all, had to look for Nigerian partners to partner, even if they didn't have the money. And the idea was, come and buy in. By the time we start making profit, your profit will pay off for your own shares. So, but this one is not doing that. This one is bring this business in, get my cronies to own it, leave you to run it. So anyway, Uzo, so you've had the conversation. Are you into egg business too? What kind of business are you doing in Nigeria? Did your business fail?
I eat egg. I don't produce. I eat. So my own point is that we
Please,
are talking
Chief.
about this. Hold
Uzo,
on,
Uzo,
CJ.
Uzo,
Yeah.
Uzo, please. It's like there's a breaking news. They say Joss is bleeding. Joss is bleeding.
Not
Is
today. You hear that
there
one.
something that happened today we didn't know? No, this Muslim Brotherhood, whether they've started again, I don't understand. Okay.
Okay, don't worry. We'll go and check and see if
Let's go
there's
to that.
anything breaking. Uzo, go ahead.
So we are talking as if this borrowing this is a grabbing of land. We all know that. Obasanjo did it. Remember Obasanjo farm with cassava. He did it. So it's not this regime is not the first people that are grabbing land. Obasanjo did it with the cassava. He grabbed a lot of land. Today, where are those cassava lands? The government took it and shared it among themselves. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, this is another scheme of grabbing people's land. They will go to somewhere in Ogun State, Imo State, and look at and just throw a stone, shoot a catapult, acres of land. This is a government use for China village, China farming, China poultry. For the next 5 years, nothing will be done. The land will be given to brothers, everybody. The land is gone. The contract will be gone. So I don't see this one as if it's the first person. Obasanjo did it with cassava. So they are doing it again. So I don't see it as anything. So our local farmers are also trying. At least in my place, a full chicken is this sister I sold for 7,000. Yes, last year, 2 years ago, it was almost like 10 grand. Most of the guys that are doing the local ones, I think rather 8,000 bed, 500 bed. They are doing good, not selling to the locality where they belong, not as big as want to say it, to the locality where they belong. So we all know that is but I know you're looking for government support. Sorry, government will not support you for anything. We the scientists we know that from from the onset that if you want to open any business, leave government out of it. If you know you can't run a business, you cannot provide electricity to your business, you don't have alternative for your business, just save your money. Use it to go and build bungalow and know that that's where your money is. Or else you put the money there, it's gone forever. Use it again. Government, you're not going to see electricity, you're not going to see light, you see nothing. You have to do that by yourself and provide your light. Everything you need, you have to do by yourself. So if you're not really to do that, say sorry, don't even think of putting like you want to do the business. And secondly, most people that do business, it's a long-term investment. It's not something you invest today, you end tomorrow. It takes some people 3 years to build, 4 years to build. So it's not something you can, because you start to put it today, you will be getting by next year. Remember, your bird have to die. You have to learn. When they die, you keep on learning, process until you find the right thing to do. Then you start gaining. So that's why I say it. But on Nigeria level, I don't think they will assist you for anything. You provide everything you need by yourself, security, everything. If you're not ready to hire at least 3 armed people to guide your farm, don't even try to go and open a farming business. If you're not ready to hire three armed people with bullets, then find a boss that will escort the workers to the town every day. Don't even venture to go to the farming with your money, or else you're going to lose everything. Plus, if care is not taken, you're going to pay a ransom attached to it. You lose your farm, you also pay a kidnapping ransom for that. It happens everywhere, not only in one place, But in terms of food shortage, we know that it's insecurity. Insecurity is the food shortage we have. Without insecurity, I think food will not be a problem. Food will not be a problem. And secondly, most people have, I would say use this. When I was growing up, I grew up in a village. The only thing we care for when I was growing up is money to buy meat and fish. Every other thing is within the farm, within the environment, within the farmhouse. You get everything fresh in the farmhouse. But right, even my own brothers are at home. Hey, but every man go plant to go there. They buy everything in the market. No one is even ready to even plant a seed of Ogo near the bathroom, near where you so you can be having vegetable to Secondly, that's another thing that is affecting us. Even we here, all of us, even me here, for the past 1 month now, I'm planting my backyard. More, I harvest okra last year. After work, I come here, I water it, or I set my timer for water, water it. By
You
June,
planted
August,
okra in Texas.
yes, now my water, I saw water leave for $180. Last year, I saw water leave for $180. Akolan Bridge, Akolan Ridge for a new season now. Akolan Ridge now, but care for new season. They are the in fact the okra self. If you use a kusu for the next 1 week, the smell go see they remain. You know they finish. So my issue that people also are joining on the full insecurity. As we from the study, I know that the insecurity studies have reduced in a very, very dramatic way. It's not how it used to be before. So nobody can give you excuse that they can't go to farm because of Fulani people. Yeah, I know by 3 years ago, before you can do that. But right now, all of us know that insecurity studies reduced in a very dramatic way. People can go to farm. All right, plus everything that every community have put in place. So I don't see reason why people can still tell you that they can't go to farm. Everything is buying. So I see that as secondly, most people are lazy. They want to buy everything in the market. Nobody want to even do anything to even keep the family going. So on the egg side, man, Mark can say some egg are rubber. I won't tell you lie. Sometimes even here in United States, I bought egg one day. I was looking at this egg. In short, before I even boiling the egg already busted, looking like a rubber inside the pot. I was like, this egg original or not? So only God that will say some people want to eat. All right. So that's one my point. So Chinese or no Chinese is grabbing of land.
Okay.
Obasanjo fan today. He was in Imo State before. You remember? It was in Imo State, 1997, right? Well, how many acres of land he ruled? Okay, let me give you an example. Where Ebukobi built his Zion ministry, that land was literally Obasanjo farm. All those land. That's the purpose of them sold it right now. So it's a grabbing of land. That's what they do. It's not even Chinese come and do the other. They grab land. That is gone.
But Uzo, so what led us to digress into this agriculture and farm thing? That was what our original topic was. The good our brother came in and then he mentioned how he just came back from Nigeria. He had an established poultry farm that couldn't run anymore and he had to go and shut it down and come back. So, but before then, I already had that video I played where it was telling us of how the Nigerian government had gone into a $900 million partnership with a Chinese organization to produce 6 million eggs a day. And I'm asking myself, why can't the good as a poultry farmer be the one benefiting from this? Why can't all the goods that have poultry farms and the bigger ones be? Why are we doing this project with a foreign entity? Food is not what you hand over to foreigners to do for you.
But you know, I do a contract in Nigeria. In Nigeria, all right, they will rather give an outsider $10 million to do a particular job than giving you $5 million to do it.
Why?
Why? That's how Nigeria have set up in every level. They rather give an outside company, outside person money to do the job that you can do than give it to your local production, local people. They later give it to outsiders to do it. They prefer the outsiders. They trusted the outsider more than even you at the local. Okay. So that's how Nigeria is set up. We all know that. Anybody that do contracts in Nigeria, if you don't have, like, if you're not ready, we know how everything works. Even
okay.
So right. And this guy, okay, let me tell you something. This is 1%. The guy about this 1% of what I mean. We'll talk about the poultry. Our man here. All right, this is 0.1% of what people that live in abroad and went to invest in Nigeria have seen. It's only just aspect. Everybody start telling you, everybody this where I am, I'll tell you one story to another of when they invested on the farming.
That's the point also. That's the point. Why should a Nigerian who is abroad make money, be interested in helping the economy, goes home to set up and suffer what the good has suffered? Are we justifying it?
It's not justifiable in any way. It's a bad government, so that's where everything ends.
Okay, hold on. Let's move forward. So KJ, you're back. So, but before I hand over to you, So we were talking about
No,
this
don't hand
government.
over to me. Let me just make my own contribution.
Okay, you make your contribution. Okay, hold on then. So just before Masker said something, which I alluded to, that this government seems to be not growing anything from within. Rather, it's trying to bring people from outside. Everything is from outside, no local content. And then it triggered something I was thinking. The Tinubu that I thought I knew, in 1990 to 2007, when he was governor, wanted to build a fourth mainland bridge. Let's not forget that. Went to bring an Enron to fix energy in Lagos State. Where is that Tinubu? Has that Tinubu been cloned? Because this one that I am seeing is not the one who wanted to push for fiscal federalism by creating local governments in Lagos State, for which he was taken to court by the federal government and allocation was held back. So in answering that question, I stumbled upon this other video, which after playing, we'll continue the conversation. Let's just hold on and listen to this.
But President Tinubu cannot even be a proper commander-in-chief because he can't do the work.
Why?
Because he's more or less an international businessman.
Why do you say that?
I can tell you, he's an international businessman who is using the office as a ladder, as a platform to promote his international business. And the government, I know that as a fact, and that the government is full of people who ordinarily will have worked for him in his private business empire. The majority are the people he put in the commanding heights of government decision making. And the understanding is that these government offices are places to do business. And they don't see you as a citizen to serve. They see you as a customer to exploit and get something from you. And the commander-in-chief work is too boring for President Tinubu to do. He can see the business side of it, but for him to sit down, read security report, take his time, no. This was a person who even allowed himself to get to a point where his own ADC was to be promoted to a general rank without even going to war college. And I can tell you, I don't want to be personal against anybody, the ADC is even a traditional ruler in Kwara State. So it shows to you his relationship with the armed forces, that he does not understand that he is the number one soldier of Nigeria. He needs to give them command. He needs to be in the situation room with them. He needs to go to the forward operating bases from time to time. He needs to be hands-on. He needs to know what they are doing, and they need to know that he knows what they are doing and that he cares for what they are doing. He can't do it. He doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the temperament. And you have to understand that if you study psychology and physiognomy, you will understand that President Tinubu is a non-conformist. He's not a person who will say, this is how it's been done. Let me do it that way. No. He's iconoclastic.
He likes to chart his own course.
He charts his own course whether he breaks the rules or not. If you say, it can't be done, he will do it anyhow, anyway. And damn the consequences. That's why he doesn't want to beg you for power. He doesn't want to go to the people and lay his hand and say, give me the power. Yes. He will just snatch it, grab it, and run away with it while you are there saying what has happened just now.
These are your words, by the way, anyway.
These are my words, quoting his words.
Okay.
He was the one who said, power is not served a la carte, and that you don't wait for it, you don't ask for it, you don't beg for it. You just grab it, snatch it, and run away with it.
You seem to like the man. You seem to admire him.
No, I don't. I understand him because I have to do opposition research. I don't admire any of his ways. But I am in awe that a person of that mentality, of that morality or lack of it, of that ethical bandwidth, can find himself as the head of state of Nigeria. And that doesn't speak to him or his quality. It speaks to the collective quality of Nigeria and what we hold dear and what we aspire to be and who we want to be. Naked power, naked money, no gumption, no scruples, no tomorrow.
Wow.
President Tinubu cannot even be.
Okay, so KJ and Mr. Ike, two of you are the latest people to come back to the show. So, because it's still it's still in sync with the conversation about Dr. Haruna Goroh and politics and everything, because all of this ties in. That's why we're suffering it. It's because of that political mindset and political choices we're making. That's why a Good would have a business that should have been at least what we call a medium scale business has been shut down. That's why people are scared now to take their money back home and go and invest, because suddenly we have a government and a system that, according to Masca, it says is business unfriendly. It's not business friendly. Why is Nigeria not business friendly? I grew up thinking that even though we didn't have a good tourist system, that every white man coming to Nigeria comes with a briefcase. They see business to be done in Nigeria. Why is it that that is not suddenly the case anymore? I mean, the perception, I believe, was that Nigeria was a good business ground. Whether it is a Nigerian local businessman trying to set up his own business or a foreigner coming in, but are we seeing a reversal of all that, KJ? I don't know. What's your take before I come to Mr. Ike?
Okay, thank you so much, Jim. And I've been listening to you guys. It's been very, very interesting. Good to see you, dear. Good. Yes, and I listened to him also his submission, even though I wasn't in this thing. And what he said is quite true. And now I'm here to fight Uzo. I don't know what Uzo is saying. Uzo, are you saying that the okra you're planting behind your backyard is what we're talking about here? Is that how we develop Nigeria? No, this is the thing. You see, people have money.
Don't crucify me if I die. Don't verify I die. What I said, I think me, I can plant up related. Yeah, this guy.
Okay. You see,
KJ, hold on. Uzo, please. This your okra. How many grocery stores are you supplying it to?
No, okay, now. No, then what I supply is what I live. The one.
Who do you supply this what I live?
It's an African store now. Even me, they're even begging for it.
What quantity do you supply them?
3 times I invested it. All right. So the guy, the first one I took, is 50-50. The guy said it and give me the 50% of whatever you sold from it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, that's good. I know people do that here, but what we're saying here is at large scale. It's people who are giving other people employment. Look at that lady who came to build in Lagos after collecting money from people who want to, people who are in diaspora who want to build. And even those Americans, black Americans who want to go and invest in Nigeria, but they wanted their own house first. Look at what happened to their investment. Wasted. Nobody's saying anything about it. Now, this guy also tells us of what he has done. And there's no justification whatsoever that Nigeria will go to China to ask for chicken or egg. It doesn't happen. Because Obasanjo farm used to be one of the biggest in West Africa. If not because of your, just like the last video watch said, it's only about your personal interest. You can actually get these things done in Nigeria without having to go outside. That money you are going to use to bring them in. If you divide it out among farmers, within 6 months, in fact 6 months is too much. 3 months you have a turnover, and it will give people employment. Now, unfortunately, what the last speaker said is very true. This guy is just about making money for himself. You are asking why is that Tinubu in Lagos is not the same one? Has he been cloned? No, he has not been cloned. But he has been able to achieve his purpose in Lagos, which is to establish Alpha Beta. Alpha Beta is vomiting enough that he wants. So there's no need to further himself to look for whatever to do again. Now, having taken that same model from Lagos, he's now replicating it in Abuja Seco. Now, you also ask a question, why are the foreign investors no longer coming with a briefcase? Because they found out that when they bring the briefcase to you, you pack the money and go back to them. So they prefer to just wait for you. You gather the one that you have in your national coffers. You bring it. They help you invest it. So they don't have to even come to your country anymore. They employ their own people here. Your money works for them. Okay? Look, the day I was talking about Mwigwe here, I said some people were trying to harass me. Okay, the chicken has come to roost. 106 houses. I mean 2 houses. Is there any Igbo man that has even 5 houses in Nigeria? Any Igbo man, no matter how wealthy the person is. None. Is there any country on earth that have ever brought 25 officials to Nigeria at a go? None. Even when Clinton visited here, majority of people who came, because I was in that meeting, I was in the university at that time. Majority of people who came for that conference, who came with him, were security men. Security men. And he came for a high-powered meeting. So I'm just telling you how we don't seem to know that we're a country and we have children and we have a generation to cater for. And we have somewhere we're going. But looking at it, I have come to conclude, and that's been my lesson, because nobody transits out of his country at the age of, when they're over 45. What are you going to do in our country? But most of us have to, because we found out that there was nothing. All the shout have been shouting, fight have been fighting, curse have been cursing, didn't amount to anything. Dr. Haruna was here today, and I said to him, it is good though, and the only reason why he's still walking the streets is because he's from the north. If not, you see that place I was trying to describe to him, near Asokoro. If we don't visit that place many times, God help him if they put him in that station where they call a journey of no return. So we're simply saying, I'm simply trying to paint a picture for those who do not understand, because sometimes they think we just come here to talk. We are living in a very precarious situation that there is no answer anywhere, because everybody who is in the system is out there to make their money. Even those of us who say we are Christians, Christian leaders, we have all fallen to the point of we don't want to say or don't carry us. So it's any way you look at it from any way. Tell me, what is the thing that Tinubu will say to you and I that he has been able to achieve since the time he came into government? There's a trending video in X. Somebody was talking about how much they borrowed, and this guy, because of how much they borrowed, went to Gok and asked Gok to tell him how much they have borrowed since 2025 to today. 2015 to today. Brother, I'll leave you to go and look for that video. You put your hand on your head. You put your hand on it, because these monies are borrowed and wasted, borrowed and wasted, borrowed and wasted. Look, one day, I don't tell them, we'll go there, they will call the price us. Hey, is this the guy you sold to us? Is this the one? Okay, bros, carry him. He will get to that point, because that's what they're doing. They're selling all of us. Imagine, okay, this guy now, D Good, who went there, is he going to encourage any of his friends who want to go to do a business again to go? No, he will tell us, now, run for your life, because it's not going to work. And that's the truth. Only in Nigeria, you will pay 3 different taxes: local government, state, and federal. And even in that one, you will still pay movement of your goods. You go pay the federal, you go pay the local government, you go pay the state.
Stamp duty.
That is it. You go pay stamp duty for every transaction you do in the bank. You go pay stamp duty. So how then? You all live here. I mean, look at who runs America. It's not small businesses. It's not companies. Is there any industry that they have that is employing thousands of people? Maybe small industries. That is why the government don't joke with those industries. They support them in any which way. Which one do we have that was supported? Which one? Anyway, let me make a leave here. I become lamentation of Sodom. So let me leave it.
That's fine. Somebody says already that you lot are not critical thinkers. So, Mr. Ike, Alamefle, can you hear me? Oga Ike.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so you've followed the conversation we're having. Are you also going to set up a business in Nigeria, or you have given up? Nigeria is no go?
I have no any intention of making business in Nigeria. I'm okay with Nigeria, your country. I have no business with Nigeria anymore.
Isn't that unpatriotic?
Okay, you call it unpatriotic, right? I don't care what anybody calls it. The most important thing is that for me as a person, I have no business with Nigeria anymore.
No, hold on, Mr.
The business I have with Nigeria.
Hold
The
on before
business I
you
have
go
with
further. Hold on,
Nigeria
Mr.
right
Ike.
now
Mr.
is
Ike,
my
before you go
family.
further. Hold
Sorry?
on, sir. Hold on, sir, before you go further. I
Uh-huh.
mean, the Jews anywhere in the world, they invest back home, whether it is the ones in Russia, the ones in Siberia, the ones in the US, the ones in the UK, they all invest back home.
Yeah.
Even Indians do that. Why is it that you Nigerians don't like to go and invest back home? What is it?
There are a lot of us who are investing back home. You know, it's not because I said I am, but there is a lot of people who are investing back home, and that is their personal choice to invest back home, right? Because at the end of the day, somebody KJ who was speaking was saying that Nigeria is a country where even the good money you say somebody in terms of business, you have to pay. You know, by the time you finish paying this, pay that, pay this, pay that, pay that, pay this, pay this one, put them down. Wheelbarrow will charge you. The person will tell you the place you put the goods, you have to pay. Before you move from here to there, they say you got to pay. It's a crazy stuff. At a certain age, for me personally, at my age right now, I am not bothered about the investment of Nigeria. Those family that have been able to bless, if they refuse to invest their life, that's their choice. But for me, I'm not thinking about anything about investing in Nigeria, because I don't need to invest in Nigeria. This is not a country, you know. So I'm not discouraging people. There is a lot of people. Can you imagine how many of us who live outside here that have built mansions in Nigeria that nobody lives there? They don't even go home. Why should I build mansion in Nigeria? What am I going to do with that? Just to show that I live in Europe, just to show that I have a big house in Nigeria. For me, I feel it's a useless investment because it doesn't make any sense. You don't go to Nigeria, you don't live there. You just build it, lock it. You say you have a camera from anywhere you can see what is happening in your house. Is it why you build the house? The house is built for people to live in. It's not built to be locked up, you know. So my brother Chief, people have different way of making investment. For me, I have a different program of my retirement. The day I decide, for example, naturally, by next year, God give me life, I should be 65. By next year, I should be retiring from where I'm working. But I might decide to continue to work here, maybe work 3 times in a week, right? Or I decide to do community service where I help other people. Why am I bothering my head about Nigeria? I'm only praying for Nigeria to be good because I have family over there in Nigeria. For me, I do not have any business with Nigeria anymore. My prayer for Nigeria to succeed is because I'm still a Nigerian. I'm still an Igbo man. But I want my people to succeed, because if they succeed, I succeed. And at the end of the day, that every month you get your salary, you divide your salary up to 100 places for people back in Nigeria. Is that life? It's not life. Somebody who traveled to Nigeria, can you imagine what somebody, if you put 10 million naira, you travel to Nigeria and put 10 million naira aside for everything. 10 million naira is no more. 10 million naira is just like 1 million naira. Because every morning you wake up, people line up in your house. And for how many people are you going to settle? How much is your salary? If you tell them what you go through here, today is Sunday, I'm supposed to be relaxing with my family, but I'm working. Most of them now enjoying in beer parlor, drinking their beer, enjoying their pepper soup. But I'm here working on Sunday that I'm supposed to be home. Why am I doing it? I'm doing it not only just because of me, but I'm doing it because of them. And it is a situation whereby sometimes that you, when they tell you, oh, I need this, you say, hey, please, I don't have, say, hey, because you have crossed, and you say, let the bridge break. You understand? They will tell you so many things, but none of them know what you are going through here. So I think I'm not discouraging anybody who want to invest in Nigeria. Personally, for me, I'm not investing in that. I'm investing in the life of my children. I'm not investing in Nigeria. That's their choice. If they want to go invest in Nigeria, that's their business. For me, I'm not investing in Nigeria. I'm not discouraging people to invest in Nigeria. But what is the business climate, for example? That is what all of you are discussing here. What kind of business climate do we have? I was going in and coming out when Maska was making a comment about the business he tried to do with somebody, right? It is always the same thing. They will frustrate you out of the business. The people in Nigeria who know the system, they will make life difficult, and they will make life so difficult for you that you want to run away from Nigeria, because everybody wants to get from you. Even if you even do you know that most of the things we do in Nigeria, we trust friends more than brothers, because your brother will want to take every advantage of every if they need 500,000 naira, he will tell you it is 1,200,000. And when you call a friend from another place to go and do that thing for you, he will do it at 500,000 naira and tell you that it is remaining like 200,000, or it is remaining 200 naira or 500 naira. But your brother will tell you that it's not enough, because transport from this person take this person take it. Sometimes I don't blame them. If you want to go and legalize a paper in Nigeria, just from here, you need to go and legalize one paper in Nigeria. You see what they will tell you. Because if you don't pay that money, nobody's going to listen to you. They will drop whatever paper you want to legalize. Was it not this week? The governor of Anambra State went to the civil service. By 10 o'clock, nobody was there in the office. By 10 o'clock in the morning, a civil servant is not in the office. What kind of a country is that? By 10 o'clock in the morning. When you know that where I'm working now, if you come late 3 times if you come 3 times late, you get warning, written warning, not even oral warning. You get a written warning. But somebody, a civil servant that is supposed to receive salary at the end of the month, by 10 o'clock, is not even in the office, is nowhere to be found. Is it a country where you think you all of us who live outside now, who claim that Nigeria is very sweet? It's very sweet for you, but for me, Nigeria is not sweet for me. This is me. The only thing when I enjoy in Nigeria is that the African food, the fufu that I cook here, everything is everything is on the fridge. But if I'm in Nigeria, I can eat them fresh. That's the only difference that I enjoy. Outside that, what else? That Nigerian food here, I buy them online. I get everything, and when I go on vacation, I buy everything that I want. It might not be fresh, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Who want to live without seeing his family or friends? Everybody want to be with your family, want to be with friends. You want to do something, right? You want to feel your old schoolmates. Those things are very sweet things to do. But where is the country? Investment in Nigeria is something like, the people who are doing it, I used to praise them, because Stevie was asking Maska, what about electricity, security, other things? There are so many things that is involved in investing in Nigeria. It all depends the kind of investment you want to make. For example, if you're importing cars in Nigeria, that's part of investment. But if you're trying to build a small-scale business in Nigeria, my brother, you have to be ready for everything. Like KJ was saying, it is small businesses in a developed country that is what keep the country going. It's not the multi-billion-dollar businesses that are keep companies going. Where I'm working now, maybe we are about 100 people working in this place, but they are providing a lot of economic life to families. Look, about 100 families that are benefiting from one small business. If you have like that kind of business, about 5-10 places, it's a lot of employment for a lot of people. Like my brother was saying, like here in my yard, in my house here, Chim, I sent you a photo of my banana in my yard. I'm not producing banana to sell. Well, I don't produce. Maybe when I plant watermelon, I'm not producing that for sale. Whenever they grow, I share it with my neighbors and friends. I don't say that is not business, right? I don't do it because I want to do, but I do it because my yard is fertile. I can throw a seed of something, it will grow, right? So my brother Chim, honestly speaking, I'm not discouraging anybody who want to do business in Nigeria, but for me, I'm not ready to do business in Nigeria. For me personally, but any other person, yeah, those who want to take the risk, I don't discourage them. You know, I do not discourage anybody who want to invest in Nigeria.
All right, sir.
For example, there are so many ways you can invest, like investment you are talking about. If you invest in people, it's part of the investment. For example, if I put business in Nigeria now, brother Chim, if I put business in Nigeria, it warrant you that they have to be traveling most of the time, right? Maybe you have your brother, you have somebody who is running the business. But it's not as like when you are there to run your business or when you are there looking at your business. Because most of the time, what is going on in that, every day you hear new news. Every day you hear another news. Every day you hear another news. Every day you hear another news. You know, so at the end of the day, if you are not somebody who is not patient enough, you cannot do it. You cannot run the business. So anybody who want to do business in Nigeria, I praise my brothers and sisters who are investing a lot of money in Nigeria. You know, even into the level of industries and the rest
All
of
right.
it. You know,
Jim, please, can you just indulge me? Let me just, because I raised the point that I think is very relevant.
Okay,
There might
sir.
be people who are listening. We're not trying to discourage people from investing in Nigeria. It depends on the kind of business and the level of your involvement. When we were living here and leaving Nigeria to come over here, my wife had a business. She was a distributor of consumables and food, you know, and it was really moving. My wife had, and she was, in a very good location, you know, in fact, within the market. And it was food products basically that was moving or that were moving. She had 2 trucks. She had 1 pickup. When we were leaving, we decided that instead of selling off the business, that we should give it to a close relation to run the business. And they went through some training and so on and so forth. It was structured in such a way that the deliveries are made directly to my wife's company, you know, and then you offload it, take stock, and then you sell. It doesn't even require light or whatever. It's not, you know. Now, by the time they ran this business for about 6 months, they had incurred debts for us. The trucks were sold off. And we started paying from here. My wife and I started paying money from here. In fact, we had to stop the business. So if you are going to do an investment, it's better for you to be there and run it yourself. Because if you're going to leave it to people to run for you, God help you. That's just what I wanted to say. I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. Kiji, I'm going to hand over to you because I need to run. But before I do that, I just want to break. So we've heard, for some of us may have read. Yeah, OVA, KJ is seeing your hand, no worries. Jos has been under siege. The governor has declared a 48-hour curfew. Apparently some unidentified people just drove in motorbikes and decided to do what we know they do best. So right now, Jos is in a lockdown and chaotic. So for those of us who have people there, you might want to check out what is going on. So, and that comes back again to what we're saying, because all of this ties in. You know, if there's insecurity, people can't go to their farms. People can't set up businesses and be sure that that they're safe and all that. There's no electricity. Then how are people going to invest? It's just boils back to the same thing where it circles back again to what we've been discussing. So I just felt like throwing that in. KJ, I need to run. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Chim. You have been of great value and help. God bless you. Okay. Yes. Ovia, right? Ovia, you're the one sparking.
No, if I wait for my turn, is it my turn?
Okay, who's supposed to speak?
I think everybody has spoken.
Yeah, it's Ovia. Yeah, that's the only person.
The last person,
It was supposed to be if he's not ready. So let's go ahead.
All right. The person before me, not Tony. That's how we started earlier.
Okay.
Tony will be speaking now.
And he can't speak now. Why not going to speak since? It's a speaking program. All right. Yeah. So it's unfortunate I was receiving this sad news from Josh. When you first broke the news, I tried to get my
KJ, sorry. Give me 2 minutes. I want to say something before you guys continue because something came up in my place of work. We were talking about business. You know, I didn't know what Tony was saying because I left, but I want to tell you one story. When I left Mali, I left my business. I did not close my business. But 6 months after I came to where I am living, that business closed. I handed over that business to somebody. But within 6 months, it is one story or another story or another story or another, because they know you're not coming back tomorrow to come and begin to, you understand what I'm trying to say? So, under 6 months, it's all ended in story. So, and why it was so painful for me is, before I get to where I was, I know what I suffered in Mali. I know what I went through in Mali to get to where I was. And the reason I left the business was to use that business for the family back home, so that they can depend on that business, so that I can be able to concentrate with my life where I'm going. But it never worked. And the person I left the business, that business crumbled under 6 months. So that's why I am not. That's why, you know, I've seen 99. What is 100, man? The other day we were talking about all the countries. I was asking where I've traveled in Africa. It was the thing I was traveling all those countries in West Africa for vacation or for fun. I was looking for a better life for everybody. I was trying to succeed as a young man because there was no hope anywhere in Nigeria. But at the end of the day, what is the story? But at the end of the day, see, today, they are still my family. They are still my brother. They are still I am still that thing that they crumbled didn't stop me. To make sure that I do as much as I can to put a smile in their lives. I rest my case.
Thank you so much.
KJ, before you change the topic, can I say something on this? Pa, if you don't mind, when you left, did you leave your business did you give part of your, how do I phrase this? When you left your business, the people who are handling it, are they part owner of the business, or you leave them as an employee?
I can answer that for you without even going back to him. When I left the business, a media company that I was running, I left you people who I had trained. Every single person working there I had trained had worked with me for more than 5 years. Everything that was supposed to be done was computerized, so you know what to do at each point in time, what to do, everything.
No, my question is,
hold on now. Your question. So, in other words, there was nothing like anything strange, not in terms of management, not in terms of charging of costs, not in terms of materials. Everything was made in such a way that even a 6 years old can run the business. Okay? but less than 6 months. Ike own is even too much. You reach 6 months. The moment the account signatures were changed and they can now sign their signatures and get their pay and everything, in less than 4 months, I had to now start looking at how to support it to survive.
KJ, wait, listen, that's not my question.
Okay,
Obie, let me answer. Obie, let me answer the question for you. With respect to my own case that I mentioned, we left an ML, we left a house. All of them gone, apart from the house.
There's a reason I asked, right? If I, KJ, right? If I call you right now, I say, I get.
Okay, sorry, let me answer you before I go. The business is 1000% my business. It was not a partnership business. It's my business in and out. Everything from the beginning to the end was my business. But because I programmed myself to make sure that the business will be able to continue to sustain everybody, at least to give me a breathing space. For me also, because when you are relocating to a new country, it's not an easy job for you to relocate. You don't have family, you don't have anything. You understand what I mean? So it wasn't just a one-day business plan that I did. So it was, everything was my business. But out of trying to make life easy for everybody, I decided to say, this is what I'm going to do. So that tomorrow, I don't want anybody to call me on the phone to say, hey, brother, we need 15 naira. Brother, we need 2,000 naira. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it wasn't a partnership. I wasn't paying. I wasn't paying anybody, but it was an agreement that at the end of the month, this is how much you take, and this is how much you keep for me in the bank, and this is how much you give my family.
This is why I asked that question, because let's say I have a 1 million naira. I want to invest in Nigeria, and KJ, you are in Nigeria. For me, for that business to survive, I would rather say, KJ, take 20% of the business. I don't want you to be my employee. Don't work for me. Let's be business partners. Yes, it's my investment and my money, but I want it to survive. So rather than making you employee and be paying you monthly, be a part owner, own 20, 25%, whatever percent, so that the sense of ownership is there. You are working for yourself. If the business does, so you too. If you grow, you progress. So that's why I asked that question. We seems to make that mistake most of the time. Because
but that's what I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, you're making a mistake.
Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, wait, let me tell you something. Where he's going.
Hold on.
I did that. Just a minute. Give me 1 minute.
Hold on.
Let me direct. Okay.
This cafe business. There's a cafe business that has more than 20 points of internet access, and it was given to. Where are you? Take her. This is your business. Run it. Don't call me for money. Don't ask me for anything. The rent of the place have been paid for 1 year. You don't have any problem. It has 2 generators, 2 5 kV generators, which you can use as you use it as you want. That business was thriving because it was a central point where people, it was the area people needed that service, which was not available. So sometimes when it used to be there, people, those who work in it, tell me that they never lack any. It's constant. You see people there until they shut down. That's what I'm
okay, let me give you a reference.
KJ.
Okay, let me tell you this.
Hold on, you will go. Let me make you understand. See, take this business, manage it for me till I come. It's different from you are part owner of this business.
I think that they're own now. What do they talk about?
Well,
okay, let me tell you, if you like, all right, give them 100%. Tell me, take money, share the money, eat the money. Just give me the main money. It's going to fall. As far as you cross Nigeria, if you cross Nigeria, leave your business to anybody, all their mindset is that whatever I put their business, you can't do anything. They're going to bury it.
But that's the mindset.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me tell you this.
Hold on.
Let me tell you this.
Start for Nigeria fail.
Let me
That's the question I'm trying to make.
Yeah, not be all, but 100%, 80%. Let me tell you this. When I came to this country, right, I have my shops. I have guys. We are like 5. Everybody hustle. So when I came here, and I said, okay, what can I do to support everybody? I met a guy here in my company. We bought a full loaded 40 feeters container of generators, Perkins, 100 kilo kVA, 150 with put it in a van, load it to them, all working. I service it here, everything all working. Okay, these generators have been sold. They have been sold. What you guys have to do, service it, put like enclosure on it, but we'll take it out of enclosure for it to contain more in the container. Okay, what you go put enclosure on this generator, sell it. Customer already, people already pay for it. Do you know what happened? Everything was gone. They eat the money, eat my generator. I have to use Popo to go and take my generator on Owuroshoki area where they dump it. They eat the money, everything. All right, people are trying to help. So if you like, I didn't tell them to give me the gain. No, fix the generator, device generator, beam me. Look at they beam me. I think that time they beam me almost 700,000 for just to repair. Put it together. That was 2012. All right. 700,000 they beat to repair. But today, they eat everything.
Now,
if you like,
I understand saying that I understand saying with their
Okay,
allied.
hold on. Let us hear.
First.
Let us hear Ovie. Ovie has a
I
better way.
understand saying with their
Let's learn from him.
allied business we don't fail, but that's not just the whole story. Okay, some people don't do business and they succeed, right? Both either having a partnership or having an employee. So that's what I'm just trying to say. But most time business will fail. They approach them with greed. Right? You want to do business that you are not there. You are not ready to share the if you are not ready to share the risk, just the profit. You know they work like that. Most time you just have to be ready to give out of part of the business out. It's not easy, but it's about survival. But it doesn't matter if I say maintain this business for 6 years that they can't take them, right? I go see run on that because I know say I see the end. The next 6 years, no matter how grow, I need to go see take them from my hand. So what's the point?
Ovie,
I'm not
stop
saying what you
that.
guys are saying is not founded.
Ovie,
I'm not
stop
saying
that.
what you're saying is not founded, but that's not just the
Nigeria.
whole.
Okay, let me tell you the problem. Nigeria. This one of the two guys they shared money to use to go and rent house first. The way the money came, I gave them the money. They shared to two. Used to go and rent flat in Ojota area, hoping to make money to do my job for me. They couldn't make the money back, so they dumped everything. So now that's what happened actually. But I got the truth end of the year. So what happened? They said okay. They first of all, the money came. They used the money to go and rent flats. All right, hoping okay in 3 months we're going to cover. They never recover. So the issue is that I'm telling you that more people have tried it, man. If you're not there in Nigeria, forget about it.
Okay,
100%. If you're not there, forget about it.
The point that is being made is not about giving shares or participatory.
Now we are talking about business we fail and business we succeed now.
Yes,
Some succeed, some fail.
The issue we are dealing with here is just the attitude of the person who is running the business for you. That is, if you are an absentee businessman. Yes. So is the greed aspect. It's not you can give them any. I just said that in our own case, the person was living in my house. He wasn't paying house rent with his wife. The person had an ML, my wife's car, that was given to him. The person had 2 trucks. He had also 1 pickup. And all he was doing, or was supposed to do, is to manage the business because they will bring the goods to him from the factory. And he will offload, and he's right there in the market. As he's offloading, people are coming to pick it immediately. So, but what we're saying is that if you are going to invest money, not all businesses have failed. There are those that are still doing well. But if you are doing, there are some types of business, if you are going to run it, okay, whether that person is your brother, your sister, or so on, if you are not there, God help you. So we're just sharing the experience that if you want to invest your hard-earned money on a business and you are thinking that there's an angel there that will help you run the business, and I'm sorry, apart from the fact, so we're not just blaming government, our own people. Bible says that a man's enemies are the people of his own house, of his own household. Even when you are building your property and you are sending money, ask some people the kind of experiences that they've had. So it's unfortunate because these are not the values have broken down totally. So it's not the way it used to be. So even when you treat the person so well and give him 50%, if he's a greedy person, Ojukokoro, he will ruin the business because all he's thinking about, yes, all he's thinking about is just himself. Because he wasn't part of the sweat, the building. It wasn't part of it. He just stumbled into it, just gave him everything on a platter of gold. And then they just think and they run it from there and they ruin it for you. And they throw people out of job, people who are depending on that business. You throw them out of job and then they ruin themselves eventually. And then they destroy the relationship, family relationship that has been built. So it's unfortunate. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not trying to say that you're not making a point. It's good. In a decent society, yes. But the kind of things we see in Nigeria.
I feel argue say close to 50% of the small business in Nigeria are owned by people who invested from outside, and I will not be wrong. So how do you explain that?
Which at least that person must be going back to Nigeria 3-4 times a year.
So that's why I say I understand it. So it's not. I mean, how do you explain how much would they spend go Nigeria in terms of the billions would they spend? No, be all of them be take go buy food now. More than 60% of that money now investment money. People are investing. So if it's all that bad, that we will not be getting that kind of remittance.
So no, what somebody that building a house for his house to live. We're talking about business. Yeah, building a business.
Yeah, what I'm saying, the billions with Nigeria they receive in remittance, more than half of that money now business money, not be for consumption, not be just for food, and for investments. So I understand the situation there, but the way with the penta, I go be say no, people are watching. Other people they succeed, no be everywhere they fail. That guy will cause he lost 100 million euro, right? I don't think we're actually interrogating him enough, right? 100 million euro, no be small money, oh. No be small money.
He didn't say 100 million euro. He said 100,000.
Yes, 100,000 euro is not small money.
Of course.
For Nigeria, that's not small money.
Hold on now. It depends on when he started putting the money in there. And you know
I'm
that
not
business...
saying he's lying. I am not saying the guy waiting they talk no be true. I just don't say we know actually interrogate him, ask a lot of questions because he just does it in business field. And she marks Sam, do you mind to share light?
Okay.
It was
if they are telling
there.
Yes, there may be one or two that will succeed because people are different. But the majority of them, especially their relative, they don't care. They run it down and there's nothing you can do. Anyway, let's move on. Chim.
That one day.
CM, you have listened so far. What's your own contributor?
I like that one, contributor. CM is few hours behind. He did PDP convention.
Are you still in the PDP convention? You can't hear us, CM. CM. Can't you hear us?
I think he can hear us now. We know the hear him.
Okay, we can't hear you either. All right, let's move on. All right, now we almost let's do our rounding up because we almost hit all the hours. Okay, let's take your closing remarks. When you're taking your closing remark, you have 5 minutes, Tony. You can tie up anything you want to tie, but be within the 5 minutes or less, so that others will also have opportunity of speaking. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I just want to speak on obvious party, APC. I'm what personal career.
NAPP.
They just held their convention. And particularly, I want to talk about...
yes, maybe as you're talking about, tell us why they target the people now, people with their own members.
Obviously, will give us the answer. Because he heard correct today, so he could tell us. But what I want to interrogate is if you want to run for president, that is assuming that there is some other person apart from the one we did there. You have to put down 200 million. If na vice president, you have to put down 100 million. Make I just stop there and then go down 500, 200, I mean, it go down like that. So the question would now be, the only people who go fit produce that kind of money, now people where they cult, the cult of the beast, who can easily, because 200 million is non-refundable, and then you can lose it easily if you know win. It's non. So you must be a billionaire to be able to give this thing. Not we're not talking about church. We're not talking about the pastor. We go use 100 million the other time. Go for APC, and then he got not. So what the point I'm trying to make is that you can see how they have systematically excluded the poor people or the middle class from running from that office. So if you have a middle class person who wants to run, a good person, but is not a billionaire, he has to go and look for a billionaire who will go sponsor him. And then when the billionaire sponsor and the billionaire will give him terms, say, listen, I'm going to sponsor you, just like Mickey and his boy. So he will tell you this, the state treasury, the money that comes, the allocation that comes from, if it's governorship, the allocation that comes from the federal, or if you are running for president and you win, you say, listen, if you win, you are going to give me a petroleum ministry, or you are going to give me. He will dictate to you because he put you there. So that is structuring the kind of people that we produce as leaders in our politics, right from the presidency down to even the local government chairman person. I have someone that I know who is a professor, very good. That somebody say, listen, there's a slot. I'm going to speak to them to take you there and put you there. And he had to pay 500 million for that slot to be given, but someone paid more than him. That's how he lost it. So what happens is that if you go in there and you are sponsored, you are very good, but you don't have the money, someone will back you up and sponsor you, and then you take the slot, you'll be a slave to that person. That is the nature of the politics that we're running. And for as long as we continue to run that kind of politics, Nigeria is doomed. That's my contribution. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much,
Good night, everybody. I wish everybody the best of the week. Ovia, our man is doing his medical tomorrow now. You know, they are doing their medical tomorrow.
Are you medical? Hey,
I see you guys, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Interesting times ahead.
Very interesting. All right, Ovia, go ahead.
Oh, okay. We can leave the interesting time ahead first. We have enough time to talk about Obi Konkoso and the rest of them. Even though I still believe that Konkoso will end up with Tinubu when the real time comes, but that's a conversation for another day. I see Obi more with Tambawa or Erufai. But I'm curious about Wigwe, the way people they talk about Wigwe, kind of I think they are missing something here. When Wigwe die, right? First of all, Wigwe is an assets manager, right? Assets bank, assets manager. He manage people assets. All these are our billionaires, both the official one and the Kuker own. That's why he helped them manage finance, invested in abroad, offshore banking, and all those kind of nonsense. That is the specialty. And his connection is very in the webs of the globalists. He and the queen then right hand now. But when he died, interesting thing happened to the Nigerian elite. The likes of Dangote, the likes of Abacha family, and the rest, they were all kind of in tears. So people that you never expect, they were shocked at the same time. They were in tears, because now later we're going to find out that this man invested their money, hold most of their portfolio, but the guy just died like that. So where do they go from here? So that sparks a lot of But at the same time, Tinubu just come off his, it was Gambalante. So the whole country, the elites were kind of split into three. Those ones will go in burial. Go watch the video again, you will see them of Passenger, they had their own clique and all that. So when this news broke, now three things happened within this past week. People are not paying attention. After Bola Tinubu don't visit the king finish, Chatham House write an op-ed criticizing Bola Tinubu that yes, all this in the foreign acceptance, glitz and glad,
But
it's not,
nothing.
it's not trickled down to the people. But the question there is, what is the difference between Chatham House and the Royal Palace? They are one, not the same person. Then the newspaper that broke the Wigwe news, Londoner, it's called Londoner. Now see the mouthpiece of the Royal Institution and the Chatham House. So who are they exposing? Not be the dead man. Now those people who invested in Wigwe and then got this property. But in the same vein, Washington respond with una former ambassador who is saying that if Bola Tinubu no take care of the Christian community, there might be a violent breakup. So media just highlight and then leave out, but that is a more issue that will keep Bola Tinubu awake, right? So with all this in outing and everything, all this as we analyze people who are benefiting from the investment, which are the importers, I all belong to all these institutions, but still they push them. So you now understand where the attention is now facing the other leg of the power brokers, the North. So it go along with the Rexport, with the Compose and everything. So there's a lot happening, but we pay attention to who could get number, who they vote pass. No. Power and negotiation first. You negotiate at the top, then the vote is follow. So I think there's more, we should pay more attention to that, in the coming days. Because we weigh exposure. It's not just because of the man we don't die, wife don't die, children don't die. There's more to that. Who are those people that when they invest their money for? And who are they loyal to? Are they loyal to the Tinubu government? Because if we remember, CBN governor was no one allowed Tinubu move money around like that, but he was able to do it anyway. So there's a mystery within these three reports that I don't know. Yes, KJ and journalist is part and parcel of them. So there's a mystery. There's a mystery that is going on, but we will see. So as IK was talking about the Kokosia, and others been giving for them to go and register. But now me they go register. Mona answer, in don't register. Obi say me, Obi they go register. In don't register. Now people don't pay attention to what be that party where Saraki Dixon floated recently in Bayelsa. Nigerian, either a Nigerian Congress, NDC. Anyway, NDC, 912. I think that is the alternative to the other, the obedience, to the in case no go for ADC as they talk. So let's pay attention to that. To the obedience, you guys should more worry about who is going to be Obi running mate. In case Konkozo no follow, we will need something that will bring more, at least close number to that of Konkozo. That is why I asked our guests which ticket you prefer. Obi Erufai or Obi Tambawa. That might be likely. So as the week continues from tomorrow, things go to heat up. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Obi Kwankwaso. That's what I say, Obi.
Obi
Kwankwaso.
Okay.
It's a dumb jail, seal and sign.
Okay. And that would be interesting. I would not be surprised.
Obi Kwankwaso.
Okay.
I heard somebody say, sorry, my brother. Somebody said, Kwankwaso only won state the last election. I said,
but what you not supposed to think? Kwankwaso go to think if they no win, what becomes of his own presidential ambition? That's the question. That's the question we're in the battle right now. Because what is the guarantee that the obedience movement can still be held together till that time for him? Right? He coming to Obi now will benefit Obi, but what if they no win?
The
Right?
question is whether we will still be together. That's what we'll be talking about.
Yeah, but somebody has to head it together for him. So
Yeah,
in
that's what
we
we'll
have
be
to be
talking
two-way
about. If we
beneficiary.
still one country, then.
Yeah, so the ticket makes sense to the Obi now. They're very good for them, but if they no win, it becomes a thing of a worry for the.
Let us have free and fair election. Forget about it. Let us have free and fair election. But anyway, January, I think January 16th. That's too far. That's about 10 months from now. We still have a long way to go.
Yeah,
chances that anything can happen. You know, we never know. APC might even scatter. We never know. We are just projecting. And let me tell you something. Yeah, we never know. We never know. You know, anything
any of them will die too, naturally dead.
Let's not go there. But who's my brother? Good evening.
If you that can prayer. Listen, Ovie, that can prayer of Tinubu dying should not be answered in anywhere because Shetima will take over.
Why you say that Tinubu you go call? I say any of them.
No, that's the only person who feel that it will make sense that Tinubu. That can prayer can never be answered because end of the day we are going from fire to fire. But as I still said, if you like, when I join Obi, Tambua, Atiku, all of it together. Even Tinubu without party, they can't beat him.
Come, I hate the city boy movement. They come Atlanta. If he who's up, put us on ground.
Let me sharing to $2,000.
I go come.
Okay. If you go collect your own, go collect your own for 30
Where is it? I mean, if it's by my area, I will take off from work and go and collect it.
Oh, my sister.
I need our jet 2K. Who's up? Put us on ground.
At least I know it's going to be all night for West Time. I go be all night till daybreak.
Oh, when they share money go. Which day the guy they come for West Time?
They come here always, but this one go be a grand entry. I'll let you know. I'll give you feedback how they go.
I think come this weekend.
So you go surprised by issues that people are not even seeing anything. They're not seeing anything. You're surprised that as I remember what I'm saying.
Who's say Obi no go get tickets?
Even though come on, guy. The whole thing is looking like if I'm him, if we the Igbos here, at least we'll get in coming month we'll have Igbo Congress. We're saying to back out because he doesn't. For me, he may not get a ticket. Even though get a ticket, he can't even beat Tinubu. Everybody saying that he's going to beat Tinubu, the make a mistake. He can't beat Tinubu in fair, even if not fair election. In Nigeria, to have fair election in Nigeria in this kind of time.
Uzo, let me tell you something. Forget about free and fair election, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the masses come out, let me tell you, rigging is by number, but there are how people will come out, not only voting but defend the vote. It will be so difficult.
The structure.
The problem is people coming out to vote.
Even though the masses come out,
the structure. The structure
will not allow that.
During election, now the ROF have been our internet. So when I'm talking about internet, if you know work that time. Don't be worried. When they worry about transmission.
That's what I'm. See again. That's the only thing we are talking about, right?
Wait. If during Abuja last election, we can do some test run. He did test run during Abuja last election, local government election. So we did test run some. I think no movement tried the whole night. He did test run. So
we know they get feed from Nigeria. We were there, bro. We know if you know get access to network, you know just they work well.
The only thing I know,
haven't you noticed that our distance is not stable again? So, but it's okay.
The only thing I know for sure, let me tell you, to be my only concern is that people will not come out and vote. Remember last election, right? They said 90-something million people registered to vote.
Right.
Only 30-something million. Remember that election, people even came out to vote. this election, I don't even know if we will get up to 10 million people that will vote. Maybe only Edo people will contest, will come and vote because
we guarantee
they
3.5
know that
million.
when I say you already had, they're gonna give
3.5 million. We get that one.
Jesus, Father, why is it that you not send your thunder? Father, why are you so merciful? Why can't you send your
Okay. All right. Ndris, yes, please, your thoughts.
Sorry. Oh, good evening.
We just
Good
charge
evening, everybody. I have
with
nothing to say. I'm just listening. I only want to remind you that Obi has actually registered as an ADC member. He did that at his ward in his village. So I think if Okwanso joins ADC, he will do the same thing. But like we said, nobody knows what the APC, the kind of games they will plan. These other opponents of opposition parties, they were formerly in the same APC. They know all the tricks too. So they should be putting up their own counter plans. Like Uzoyo said now, Wike declared an emergency public holiday a day to the Abuja municipal elections. And INEC decided to maybe at a late stage to redistribute people's polling units. So if you go to your regular polling units, your name will not be there. They will say, oh, it's in the other one. And some people got frustrated and went home. So these are the things the opposition party should look at. Aside what the security agencies and the INEC will do, because I know on that day, depending on the turnout, they will use both the security agencies and thugs to fight the opposition. So if Nigerians want to, everything lies, like if you say everything lies on Nigerians. If they're really tired of how the country is going, the killings, see, today again, there's another attack in Jos. Maybe before 2 days now, that one will happen somewhere. If people are really tired and say they want to stop this government, they want to stop the bleeding and to save lives, people should turn out en masse and defend their votes. If in a polling unit that has about maybe 1,000 registered voters, maybe 700 or 800 turn out to vote, I don't think they will have an equal number of thugs in that place to come and stop them. People turn out and prepare themselves. I don't want to say anything, but just prepare themselves to face whatever will happen. By the time these things happen across the country, it will be the thugs will know that no, they can't do it. They can't continue this way, and probably even this. And again, maybe the opposition party leaders too. Sure, this time needs a lot of both preaching, what we call soul searching on the part of everybody, including the security agencies who will be sent out to go and maybe cause trouble or capture votes, ballot boxes for these people. Let them equally think of their family members. How much should they be paid? That will be enough for them for the next 4 years, because they will be mobilized to go do those things. So if they really want Nigeria to work for everybody should do the right thing. But let's see, this might be the last chance for Nigeria to get it right, because people have been pushed to the wall. Some people have never seen this kind of hardship or economic devastation in their life before. People who are in the middle class, who have been managing themselves, some can't even afford their normal small life they live. Some manage their life and keep quiet. Say, okay, tomorrow I'll still go out, buy my fuel, drive my car, do this. But some cannot do it again now. Some can't even go to work 5 days in a week. So it's a problem. So Nigerians is so searching. Let us remove ethnic, religious sentiment and then try to see how we can turn things around for the sake of our children and generations to come. But if we keep licking the ass of all these politicians, it will continue this way, because nobody's accountable to the ordinary Nigerians. That's the problem. But people just know that this is the right thing to do. They know what to do.
Thank you so much, Uzo. And you said all this one. I say you didn't have anything to say. As if you had something to say, we will not go for today.
Okay, all I just said let me ship a little word while I was trying to say.
I will jump Ife for now. I'll go to OBE. OBE, you have.
Thank you, Jerry, and the full house. OBE, bros, hello.
Bros, I did you.
Well done, sir.
Bros, I did you.
With due respect. I tried to follow up during Dr. Goroh's presentations and all that, and all the batching and the basketballs. You know, it was interesting anyway. But the Nigerian situation, the thing is telling on all of us psychologically, even subconsciously. You see, the thing comes out naturally because we've all like been wounded in one way or the other, but we might not appreciate to recognize it at the moment. The much damage it has done to some of our psyche and some of our thought process, our reasoning, and our ability to also coexist with our peers and our people. You know, I also heard the discussion about businesses that have that have stood the test of time in Nigeria. It's obvious that in my own time I was smart. I sold my shop. I sold the shop that I opened for my wife before I left. We just sold it. I said, man, there's no need keeping anything. Just cash out. Look for somebody that will buy it and collect your money and just take a walk. And that was what we did. So when I got here, I started, hey, bros, send something now. Make us say, help us, make us do business. I begin ship motto as in, you could imagine if I will leave a night shift, I will hop up on my offer up and go pursue a vehicle transaction all the way from night shift. Having done that transaction, I'll put the vehicle back home without a number plate because I use my nursing uniform to pass police easily. So I will do those things, I take the risk, and I will put the car to my driveway, not ship the car back home. Bro, see how much with this car be now. See the markup on top. Sell motor. Wahala. You know, wahala. I haven't paid everything up to the flight, the shipment, everything back to the base. I will pay it to full time, give it your money, pay your salary on top. Then at the end of the day, sell motor for me. Even the bro said, I dash a motor first of all, making not to say not do anything for them. You take this one as a gift, as in Jeep, or not be small motor, Jeep, give and gift and to them. Say, okay, this is the business I'm supposed to do. Help run it, then we'll still share profit at the end of the day. You go put motor for ground, they're not go fit sell motor. Motor will come do. They're going to say, no, go give dealer, make dealer just sell them. So the car you have, it might 15 million for. You know, at the end of the day, dealer will tell you, give you 10 million because you're going to put it in the shop and all that because you couldn't sell. And the dealer will take it from you and shade it at the end of the day, cash out from you. And because those motor were not rotting away, and I saw it that, man, guy, I will bring motor, come give you and make you say, you know, if you sell motor, and you say you want to do business. Is it because you are not part of the cost? You don't know how the money is being made that is used to incur this transaction, and you just want to sell it out because you couldn't run the market. So I just say, guy, full stop, and that's how I ended it. And after so many, I did almost 10 cars then transactions. And at the end of the day, I'm not facing money where I take invest.
You know, you just give me Corolla. I would deserve for you like
Corolla for Uber, right? The idea is that people are unable to manage such transaction because they had maybe because the cost doesn't come from there. They are not part of the capital investment. So they don't understand the need to rescue that money, ship that money back, do a second car, a third car. Before you know it, you have 20 cars on ground. You begin to enter the big market. People don't understand that. They just kill the first few transactions because of greed, because of unseriousness, because like I told some of them, I said, do you know that if I work 5 days a week on my normal shift as a nurse, I'm not going to send cover home, you know? I go pay my bills. Okay, to survive the bill self, now God will save me. But you have to do the weekend. They go just close from work on Friday till Monday. They're not going to do any other thing. They go just they sleep. They watch DSTV. They watch movie. They burn generator. And it's the same thing with me that is over here. If I run the way you're running, and on Friday I shut down till Monday, I can't send one cover home for anybody. But I go out the long way. I do extra to make sure that I'm able to raise more, get myself satisfied here, pay my bills, have an extra to send to help people back home. It's the same hustling. They don't understand that. And that is where it pains me for people who think that Nigeria is a suffering ground. No, you're not hustling. That's the meaning. That's why you're thinking you're suffering because you're sleeping. You're just lazy. That's what it is. Other people that are here too, they are so poor and they're suffering too because they're lazy to work too. If you're lazy in America, you're lazy in anywhere, UK, wherever you are, you're going to face the same suffering because it doesn't work anywhere except you're going to steal. That is how basically it works. So the Nigerian factor thing, I don't know how it has affected us so much. We complain a lot. We are unable to do the job that you would do over here. People will be ashamed to do it back home. That's my problem with them. You can't do taxi back home because you're a big boy, because you wear suit. Eh? But people go do one for here, send you money, you go chop, Abi. You go give testimony for church, say God don't bless you, right? You know, those are the issues. It's so sad. And at the end of the day, the people that are running the political thing and all that, leave them. Let them continue to do it. They'll get tired one day. At the end of the day, they will all come back here. Like you were saying about Wigwe, that Wigwe was fronting for them. Oh boy. When I was in Access Bank, the way thing we see, that cry, whether they cry during burial, not about that money. Oh. Yeah, about that money will be because the guy was so trusted that probably they didn't sign any paper with him. That is how much they trusted that guy. And the guy was a big time washer of money. That is what he was doing. The bank was just a cover-up. That is what I noticed. The bank was just a cover-up. They were actually running things behind. But because they were all stealing, they didn't put an eye on him because he had the conglomerate thing to run the transaction. So at his point of death, maybe many of them had not been transferred to those idiots that are giving me money. So at the end of the day, that is zero. Exactly. At the end of the day, you cannot drag for anything from him because no paper anywhere where they go sign. Not they.
The truth of the matter, one thing that is guaranteed in the whole world, whether you like it or not, is death. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Look at, he built this mansion in Ikoyi. He had all these properties. And
digital house.
Because my they taking wife, taking son, John, so they have to just to.
Listen, Ovie, where is Abacha today? See, only if people can understand. I think it was yesterday. I can only sleep in one bedroom. You can't sleep in more than one room. You wear one pair of clothes at a time. You drive one car, whether you have fleet of cars. Let me tell you something. If Nigerian politicians, if they mean well for our country, Ovie, me and you, how many Americans are abroad? How many of them? If our country is good, me and you might not even have to be here. That is our country. But everybody's escaping. Like my brother said, let me tell you something. You work so hard, not because of us, but because of people back home. Left for you alone, I mean, you can work and say, you know, if you're doing 12-hour shift, you can say, okay, I'm not going to do overtime. I will do my 3 days and that's it. But when you remember there is a sister, a brother, an aunt, grand aunt, cousins, nephews, that you need to send money because of one thing or the other, you'll be like, oh, let me go get 1 or 2 extra shifts. We are slaves. I hate to say that, but that's what it is. We are slaves here. My brother Obi was talking about the shipping car and all that. That is the last business you will ever do with anybody in Nigeria. I will never do that again. When I say never, I don't care who the person is. People in Nigeria think they are suffering. When you come abroad, in as much as this place is structured differently, it was somebody was saying about this, what happened in Anambra State. I saw that video. 10 o'clock, you are not at work. In fact, they might not even come that day. It's when the governor leaves, then they will start calling them. Come, governor was here. Come and sign your paper. Can you do it here? Of course, we clock in here. When I was at the bedside, I mean, you got fired for tardiness. When I mean you got fired for tardiness. But do we have tardiness in Nigeria? No. Do they know the word? That word is not in their dictionary. What do you mean that 10 o'clock? Even me that is a salary earner now, I still go to 7:30, I'm at work. And 6 o'clock, 10-hour shift, I will come back. I don't have to clock, But with the conscience I have, you don't know who is watching you. Camera is everywhere. They know when you get in, they know when you leave. The parking garage will tell you, We tell them when you came in and when you are leaving. You don't need to clock in. But imagine in Nigeria, they will find every alternative. In fact, they might even climb through the window to go home so that nobody will see them. That is the corruption that we have in Nigeria. And it pains me when we come here and talk about our leaders. We are worse than our leaders. We are worse than our leaders. So everything is not about Tinubu. I will give it to him. I won't blame him for everything. You have your local government chairman, just like we have councils here, councillors and all those people. You have your governors. You have your House of Reps, State House of Reps, and all that stuff. You have all of them. Before it gets to the president, what are you doing? Do you know who they are? When my friend was pregnant with triplets, she was screaming, how am I going to get help? How am I going to get help? She wrote to her House of Rep. They gave her mother a visa to come. Her parents, as a matter of fact. She wrote to her House of Rep here in Georgia. And her parents came. Can I do that? If you're in Nigeria, can you even say hello to your House of Rep? Just hello, just like this. You have access. They organize health fairs. They will tell you we're going to have a town hall meeting. Those who want to come, come. You have access to your House of Rep. You have access to your senators. But Nigeria, you can't even tell what your House of Reps is doing, what your senator is doing. You can't even tell. If they build a borehole, you have to congratulate them. They give you a bag of rice. Look at the schools in Nigeria. Look at how they are. I told you guys, it was on this channel the first time I came to this country. And I look at them. I was living with my uncle then. His kids were little. And I would go to school run with my auntie. The first time I came to their school, my mouth was wide open. I was, of course, as that village girl, you know, of course, you will see it in me. I was just looking like this. I said, this is school. Wrong everywhere. They're not telling them to buy books. It's just the school will provide everything, including laptop. I say, sure. They pass the book from one class to another. This is the government that works. And it's possible in Nigeria. I hate when people say it's not possible. It is possible. It's just that the corruption in Nigeria has eaten us up. We can't even think. We can't even reason. When I came here, I don't know what it means to queue. Everything is fighting. Elevator will open. I will jump in like a village girl. But that's true. I'm not lying. I will jump in. So that is it.
That's it.
Fix our country, my people, except if we are not ready. But if we say enough is enough, yes, we can get that country running.
Okay, thank you so much, Ife. And that is why we're going to end today's, today's program. From Ife's word, enough is enough. When shall enough be enough for Nigerians? When shall we get to that wall, that proverbial wall where goats are pushed to, and then they turn around and bite? When shall that wall, when shall we meet that wall? When shall we all say, come, are we human beings or are we animals? When shall we say to ourselves, these politicians, are they our leaders or we are their leaders? Are we the one who give them power or they took power by force? When shall we call off the bluff? When shall we say, okay, we are all going to go out, vote, defend our votes? When shall we come to a head and say, these people who are occupying this position now all had almost free education from Nigeria, have enjoyed Nigerian wealth, both themselves and their children, and now it gets your turn. They say you should go and pray because the Nigerians, the children are the future of tomorrow's future. That's what they told us when we were small. Well, now we have our own children. Are we still going to tell our children that they are the future of tomorrow? That is a question for you to answer. If you are putting up your hand.
I want to answer this. God's love said Nigeria is a poor country. How many people pay tax? Nigerian government does not have the money to pay. You see, this is one thing I hate when we come here and put up nonsense. Okay, you want me to pay tax, right? What has the government done for us? Tell me what the government have provided for you, for government to tax me. When you create job and you ask people to pay tax, people will not have no problem paying tax. We've never complained about paying taxes here, all of you here, because there is job and there are things, we get from the government. But tell me what the government has done for you that will mandate me to pay tax. It's not electricity. And when people create jobs for themselves, provide electricity, provide security, do everything for themselves, then you expect the government to come and collect tax. You people need to get sense sometimes. Good night, everybody.
Does the guy remember how much was forgiven NNPC? Does the guy remember how much was spent for electricity that never worked? Does he remember how much they give it to military for the fight that we never saw? Does he remember how much these people are sharing a salary every month that is talking about a poor country? Some people just talk anyhow.
Nigeria is not a poor country. Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the whole world, whether you like it or not. The only thing is that we have the worst leaders in the whole world. All the borrowing Tinubu has borrowed enough. Tell me what he has used the money to do. Tell me one thing this administration has done for us in the last 3.5 years. You're coming here telling me that Nigeria is a poor country.
Thank you so much. And I want to tell
good night, everybody.
God's love that even the 230 million people you are quoting there is a United Nations figure. We don't even have our own. We don't know how many we are. So don't even kill yourself. We Nigerians, we don't know how many we are. If you say we're 230 million, when did you count us? Because all the census in Nigeria all have been false. So we don't have a total figure of how many we are. We don't know how many Christians are in Nigeria. We don't know how many Muslims are in Nigeria. We don't know how many pagans are in Nigeria. We don't know how many Hausas are. We don't know how many Yorubas are. We don't know how many Fulanis are. We don't know how many Jukum, Birom.
We don't know nothing.
We don't know nothing. We don't even know how much a barrel of oil we produce from our refineries. We don't know which refinery is working. We don't know which one is not working. So where do you base your arguments? Let's not kid ourselves. We're not serious. We're not a serious people. Okay? Because even private companies can tell you how many barrels of oil they are producing per day. We can't. In the whole wide world, it's only Nigeria that you have crude oil theft. It doesn't happen any other place where they have crude. No other place or country on the earth, under the sun, that they are stealing crude, except Nigeria. And you call us a serious people? So let's not come here and just kid. None of us here hate Nigeria, but we're speaking the facts. Those are the facts that will help us change if we are ready to take it. I went to the university where I had only a roommate. We had our own toilet and bathroom. We had meal tickets. You are given the meal ticket at the beginning of the term, of the semester. That meal ticket will take you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that breakfast, lunch, and dinner is like the one you eat in your house, because you eat everything as it is in your house. And at the end of the school term, if you have come from Lagos, if you have come from Kaduna, Meduguri, or wherever, and you don't have money to go back to your family, you go to the student affairs. I'm telling you, and I'm not yet 57. Okay, you go to the student affairs and you sign in your name. The student affairs will give you a form. You fill out the form. You fill out your location. You fill out your address. They will calculate the mileage and count government money. I'm talking about investing. They give you the money to transport you back to your family. It's in Nigeria. I did not live when Nnamdi Azikiwe was a small boy. So I'm telling you what happened in my very before. The Nigerian people who took over decided to destroy the system so that it can benefit them. And they know this. If not, why do you have to spend all the money on yourself and your family and carry the rest outside to go and invest in other countries? And no single Oyibo man owns a house in Nigeria. No single one. But we have 110, 106 in London. Africa, who do us this thing? If I would have even been happier if they went to build a house in Ghana, in Togo, in Ivory Coast, at least still they within our shores, you know. But you go to a place where you have to pay property tax, pay for the maintenance. You still have to look. What is wrong with us? You see, that's why they don't have respect for our millionaires. They don't have any respect for them because they know how they made their money all. And then tomorrow somebody come and tell me Tinubu is a strategist my boot. Anyway, gentlemen,
the country needs total overhaul. That's just the thing from all sectors.
Unfortunately, it's very far from being overhauled. I want to thank you, NWC, for being around with us and staying this long. I also want to thank you, OBE. Thank you. You guys always bring a rich form of this discussion. You make it, you broaden it, and you scatter it, and all of us can, at least find where to choke mouth. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys are just wonderful. Let's do this again next week. And I appreciate all of you. If you have gone, Ovia has gone. Forefather was here earlier. Chim was here. Tony was here. Thank all of you and the very wonderful people who have been on the keyboard. God's love. Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. We may not agree, but we don't decide. We don't reject your contribution. That's your idea and that's your opinion, and you are entitled to it on this channel. Thank you, every one person. Tokwe, make we gist now. Long time. Welcome back. Boom Boom Ray, thank you so much for your contribution. I see all your breaking news. We pray for those disturbances in Rukuba, part of Jos, that God will give peace. God will give them peace, and people, lives will be saved. Thank you, all the people who have made contributions that are too numerous to call their name, Olga and all the rest. I really appreciate all of you who has, turned in. Please keep liking this channel so that we can have more people coming, because the more people coming, the better for us, for our, for Facebook to publicize it all around. We want more. The more, the merrier. Thank you so much. You guys can see I'm donning my Nigerian flag, and I'm saying that we can do better, not because we're not saying what we are saying because we hate Nigeria, but we are too big and too important and too strategic to fail as a nation. We are too big and too important and too strategic to fail as a nation. Let me tell you something. If we succeed, Africa will succeed. If we fail, Africa will suffer a colossal failure. And I say that with all sense of responsibility. Let us wake up and be the giant that God has created us to be, and take our rightful place in the League of Nations. We don't take our rightful place in the League of Nations by mago to the answer, uru to the answer. We don't take our best place when we put our worst foot forward. We have people who are intelligent and who are able to match the situation that we find ourselves. Let's look for those people. Let's make them our leaders. Let's give them leg to run so that we ourselves can spring to the place that we all want our children to be in. Thank you so much. On behalf of Dr. Damages and all the members of the team, wonderful Tokwe, and the marvelous Dr. Adama, and Chim, and Tony, and all those who have contributed to our forefathers, I say thank you, and please do have a good night.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, how are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you too.
1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,844,833 911 1 trillion 911 billion